no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
Van, I found more Walk for Hope signs.
Great, Shelley, let's go. More people can join us for the Walk Run Festival with music by Liquid Pleasure, all at the Angus Barn on Sunday, October 13th. Go to walkforhope.com to sign up now.
It's Tim Donnelly for Window Nation. Did you know that most of your home's cold AC this summer leaked out through your old windows? Save money year-round with energy-efficient ones from Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Plus, pay nothing for 24 months. Love your windows like Albert, who says great value, great product, and great customer service. Hurry, sale ends September 30th, so schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90NATION or at windownation.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, North Carolina's injury lawyers.
Visit GotBrian.com.
That's GotBrian.com. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. A couple of pop-up showers or thunderstorms this afternoon, and we'll see that again Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, expect partly cloudy skies and feeling a little bit like summer. Highs will be in the mid-80s each day with a bit of humidity.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 23 points to 42,001. Market update brought to you by Copa Airlines. Fly Copa Airlines from RDU to Latin America and get 2 vacations in 1. Enjoy a stopover in Panama for up to 7 days with no extra airfare, and book your Panama stopover today at copa.com. That's COPA.com. This hour of the drive brought to you by Zero Res. Kick football season off with a deal this month from Zero Res. 3 rooms of carpets cleaned starting at $119 and 25% off your air duct cleaning. Go to ZeroResRaleigh.com. Again, that is ZeroResRaleigh.com.
O'Connell with 1 second, left wing 3 on the way, banks it in! He got it! I don't believe it!
Jeremy backs out, has Roberts on him, into the paint, rises up, big time!
Young throws, he's got Tommy, near side 2-1, touchdown Carolina!
To Ryan, catch and shoot 3, right wing, he did it again! Ryan has 27!
Anderson makes a save, and it's kept out by Martin! What a save! Martin just robbed
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Happy Friday. You've made it. I don't know, it felt like a long week for me. I don't know if it felt that way for everybody else. But now it is Friday. And actually, I know who it felt like a very, 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 very long week for.
Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of months packed in the last few days for old BY. Bryce Young's out of the spotlight now. I actually think he might like that. I actually think he might feel like, hey, you know what? Let me go chill in the background for a little bit. I'll be over here.
Oh, I can breathe.
Give me the headset. Give me the clipboard. I'm gonna watch for a little bit. But with him stepping out of the spotlight, if we learned anything about the NFL, I don't know if anyone else pays attention to ratings or streaming numbers or YouTube numbers or the stuff that we care about. The NFL is king. 14 of the most watched television shows this year have already been NFL football games. So Bryce Young not playing means he's out of the spotlight. It doesn't mean there is no spotlight. It means the spotlight's got to find someone else to focus in on. And for the Panthers this week, you may think it's Andy Dalton. I don't think it is Andy Dalton. I think it's Dave Canales. Head coach, it's time to fully step into the spotlight. And not really as a head coach either, as an offensive play caller. Play callers can be hamstrung by their quarterback. We've seen it. Seen it a bunch of different examples. Every level of football. If you don't trust your quarterback, your play calling becomes an issue. It's why, if you listen to this show, I preach trust so often between offensive play caller and quarterback. Because if you don't trust them, you can't always call your favorite play.
Limits you.
And if you can't call, it's hard enough to call an effective offense in the NFL when you can call your most perfect favorite play every single play. So it's even more difficult if you got to go to sometimes your second, third, fourth, fifth favorite play because you don't think your quarterback can be trusted with the others. So I've been underwhelmed, I think is the way to put it. Underwhelmed with the offensive scheme and strategy and play calling for the offense of the Carolina Panthers. Through 2 games, though, you could pretty much argue that there was a lack of trust, and they didn't trust Bryce Young to do a whole bunch of things. They didn't trust him to get him out of bad plays. They didn't trust him to minimize the damage on bad plays. Didn't trust him to push the ball downfield. Didn't trust him to get rid of the ball when it's third down and you're protecting field goal range. You just couldn't trust him. Andy Dalton you can trust. Andy Dalton is a veteran quarterback. He might not be Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes physically, right? He's not going to be 6'4", 6'5", running people over. He's not going to be throwing it off balance 45 yards on a rope, but you can trust him with the entire playbook. You can trust him to drive the car. Dave Canales was asked how practices looked with Andy Dalton running the ones.
Practice looks sharp, just constant communication. He's talking to guys, which, is just a continuation of building our concepts, building our team, and finding our identity.
Now that you have Andy Dalton running the show, I need better play calling from you, Dave Canales. It's actually, you know what? It's kind of a smaller version, a shortened version of the same arc we watched with Bryce Young. Last year, Bryce Young didn't play well enough. But what did he have? Excuses, reasons. The offensive line wasn't playing well enough. The wide receivers weren't getting open. When they were dropping passes. All of this, the lack of stability, the injuries around him. So you came into this year with, all right, well, now the spotlight's on you. They spent a bunch of money on the offensive line. It's better. They spent a bunch of draft capital and trade resources on the wide receivers. They're better. You don't have the injuries going early in the season as much. You have all of this. So then when Bryce Young didn't play better, the spotlight was on him. He got benched. Dave Canales, through 2 games, haven't run an offense good enough. But what did you have? Excuses. Reasons. Well, it was Bryce Young doing this. It was Bryce Young doing that. It was Bryce Young doing the other. Now you've replaced him. Now it's, all right, go ahead and show us. We fixed the problem. We got you the veteran quarterback. Go ahead and show us. I need a creative run game. I need a dedication to the run game. I need Deontay Johnson schemed open. For all of the good and bad that Deontay Johnson has, he's not exactly a jump ball threat. He's a catch the ball in open space and route guys up. He's always working with who's the guy on Instagram? The Route God, I think is his name.
Sure.
He's the guy that has receivers doing like, you run in a circle around this hula hoop, then you go over here and you do high knees through this ladder, then you go over here and you do a million small little choppy steps and then the ball. He's a route guy. That's what Deontay Johnson does. Give him the opportunity to route up defenders through your play calling. Deontay Johnson was asked about his previous experience with the new quarterback, Andy Dalton. Here's his answer.
Good game manager, gets people in the right spots, knows the game real well, been around obviously quite a while. So vet presence at quarterback, that's very experienced. So when you're out there, you know what you're getting. And as a player, you like that. So, like I said, as our job on the outside, just to have our antennas up at all times, because you never know when he could give us a certain call or the play might change, little stuff like that.
Gets the ball to his guys in the right places. Start thinking about where the right places are for some of the guys on offense. Adam Thielen, Probably don't want him trying to outrun guys on a deep ball. But on an over route or on a crosser or on a deep dig, whatever it is, like, use their advantages. Deontay Johnson, let him route it up. Xavier Legette, get him the ball in space. You drafted him in the first round of the NFL draft. If your play caller doesn't, like, before you even drafted him, your play caller should have been, like, couldn't help himself. Napkins at dinner, scribbling out plays to get Xavier Legette the ball in space. If that's not how Dave Canales is living, then you shouldn't have taken him in the first round. I guarantee you the player taken one pick before Xavier Legette, kid by the name of Xavier Worthy.
Oh, yeah, he fast.
I guarantee you somewhere pre-draft, Andy Reid had like the Burger King receipts with scribbled plays on, like, this is how we're going to get Xavier Worthy the ball on a speed sweep, and they're never going to see it coming. And you know, he's got placemats and things that are just scribbled on. This is how we're going to get him one-on-one with a linebacker, and that's what you do with a number one wide receiver, a first-round pick wide receiver. I need to see it, Dave Canales. I need to see it. Can't blame Bryce anymore. You scapegoated him for the 13 points you scored in game 1 and game 2. If it happens again, we're pretty confident Andy Dalton, because we've seen him do it for like 15 years, we're pretty confident he can run a competent offense. Maybe the ceiling isn't, highest scoring offense in the league, but he can run a competent offense if you set him up for success. If he walks to the line of scrimmage and the perfect defense is called, he'll recognize it. He'll get you out of it. There's no excuses now. I want to see a Dave Canales offense. If you're a quarterback guru, now's the time you kind of earn that status. If you're an offensive mind, now's the time you kind of earn that status. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers are not the only team from the state of North Carolina that is trotting out a new starting quarterback this weekend.
Oh.
Different circumstances, same result, new quarterback. NC State starting C.J. Bailey at Clemson this weekend. How's that going to go? Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Any win early in the season for the Jets is consequential. Think about what a hot mess they were last year. This is them proving to themselves that they can get it together, that they can be a functional franchise, that they can be a functional offense and have a functional quarterback. We have not seen this from the New York Jets in a long time.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington, and you are not going to believe what this can mean to you. How about $20,000 off all new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4XEs? Yes, that means you can get into a brand new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4XE right now at John Heister for over $20,000 off. I'd say that's well worth getting off your keister for. So get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app. It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO-free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO-free any-size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch the most live NFL games all in one place, which means you can watch the Rams and the Colts and the Vikings and the Bengals and the Buccaneers and the Chargers, or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I failed to mention this at the start of the show, and I want to make sure everybody's aware of your opportunity to show off that you know ball, as well as potentially win a prize pack. At 4:33 today, we do this every show before a Panther game. So actually, it's not like they're playing on Thursday. So every Friday we do this. No Monday nighters for the Panthers either this year. So every Friday at 4:33, we are taking guesses or predictions, I guess might be the better way, educated guesses on who's going to score the first touchdown for the Panthers, in what quarter and what player. So if it were 2015, I use this as the example, you might pick Cam Newton in the first. And then if he has a running touchdown, because passing touchdowns count for the receiver, if he had a running touchdown in the first quarter, you would win.
Or receiving touchdown.
Yeah, I guess if Cam caught something, then that could have worked. So maybe I should pick like a running back for just basically if they score the touchdown, if they're the one possessing the ball in the end zone in the quarter that you predict, you win. At 4:33, we take 3 callers on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, and those 3 are the official contestants. If one of them get it right, they get a prize pack that includes a $25 Autobell car wash gift card, some station merch, a whole bunch of stuff. We call it a prize pack. But you have to call in at 4:33. We'll let you know when the lines are open and predict who's going to score the first touchdown for the Panthers this weekend and in which quarter they're going to do it. If you get it right, you get the prize pack.
Go ahead and drop your thoughts already in the YouTube comments as well.
There's a bunch of other ways you can get bragging rights. The 3 that call in are the ones that could win the prize pack. But let's be real, the joy of getting it right and the ability to brag and boast about it is almost just as good of a prize. So, yes, you can go to our YouTube live stream. You can comment there. You can send it to us on Twitter, at Donnelly Sports for me, at The Fan Rookie for Dennis. They all have timestamps, so we'll know if you do it ahead of time. Make your predictions at 4:33. We'll give you ours. We'll take the official contestants. Who scores the first touchdown for the Panthers, and in which quarter will they score it? You need to get both right to get bragging rights. NC State at Clemson this weekend. It's funny how teams can be in a wildly similar situation while also, like, the oxymoron of it, have absolutely nothing similar in this situation. If you look around the state of North Carolina, there are quarterback controversies all over the place. Controversy might not be the right word. Changes. The Panthers benching Bryce Young, going to Andy Dalton. UNC, potentially, if they start Jacoby Criswell, who finished last game as the quarterback, they'll be on their 3rd quarterback in 4 games due to injury, due to decision, due to whatever. NC State is starting a true freshman quarterback. I mean, he hasn't even been on the sideline for college football games for a month yet, and he is already starting against Clemson on the road.
C.J. Bailey.
On the road at Death Valley. 6'6". I believe when he showed up, he was like 185 pounds. It looks like he's up to 210, 215 now, according to the team. But this is a young guy, which is why I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound crazy for State fans. It's house money for NC State this weekend against Clemson. CJ Bailey is not supposed to play well this weekend. Freshmen going on the road to Clemson in their first career start, let alone their first career start on the road, let alone their first career start in conference, their first overall career start, are not supposed to play well. They're supposed to struggle. That's a gift in a weird way. Would you rather have like a veteran that is playing well? Sure. But the knowledge of nobody expects anything out of you, go ahead and let it rip, is sometimes freeing in a lot of ways. You know, I've kind of become weirdly obsessed with this comparison to the Phillip Rivers first road start in the ACC. The last time a NC State true freshman quarterback started a road conference game was Phillip Rivers. A true freshman starting quarterback road ACC game. CJ Bailey this weekend. Before that, Phillip Rivers. And his first road start in the ACC was at number 5 Clemson. So it was actually a more daunting Clemson if you look at national rankings. Learn from that start. Learn from it. And here's what I mean. He threw for 371 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks, which makes you just go, you know what? That's what a future NFL Hall of Famer looks like. Can't teach it. And part of that is true. But the other part of Phillip Rivers that CJ Bailey can learn from is Phillip Rivers threw it 48 times. He had 48 passing attempts, and he completed 21 of them.
Oh.
It's roughly 43 and change % completion. I mean, there are baseball players that get a hot month and hit 430.
That's true.
There's a lot of failure mixed into that 371-yard, 3-touchdown, no interception day for a true freshman on the road at Clemson. But obviously, he didn't let it hold him back. He didn't let a handful of incompletions make him more timid on the next one. He was willing and able to understand that nobody expects anything from me, so watch what I do with it. If the team, meaning outside of the quarterback, plays like they played through the first 3 games, you're going to lose to Clemson anyway. There's enough flaws out on that field from the trenches specifically through the first 3 games for NC State that you'll lose if you play like that. But nothing says you can't play better. It's the best part about sports. There's always next week. Nothing says you can't play better. CJ Bailey needs to just go out there and worry about CJ Bailey. And if you have a bad play, we'll talk about it in film on Monday. Right now, focus on the next one.
Let it rip, young man. Let it rip.
It's cliche, the whole let it rip thing. The we say it all the time.
Yeah.
Cut it loose. Let it rip. It's much more easily said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But every little bit, you can get closer and closer to that side of the spectrum, which, by the way, Phillip Rivers may have invented that line of the spectrum. The dadgummit, I'm going to let it fly. Like, that is Phillip Rivers. You can get closer and closer to the way that guy thought on a football field, you'll be doing A-OK. Dave Doran, the head coach, was asked how C.J. Bailey is handling this week leading up to that Clemson game.
He's consistent. I think there isn't any moment that we've put in front of him where he hasn't responded as you would hope, regardless of age. Any player for that matter. And you can go back to the spring game. It was, he went against the first defense the whole day and had a really good day. So every time we've put him in a challenging situation, he's just been the same guy. He's been consistent. He's been uplifting. He's had energy. He bounces back if something happens. He's very coachable. So, those are habits, and you always fall back on your habits. It's about not rising to the occasion. I saw someone write that. That's not what happens. The guys return to the habits that they've created, and he has a lot of winning habits,
That's all great. I actually think it's a really well said, kind of paragraph from Dave Doran. The only thing I would add is it's not the same. The road, Clemson is not like, at least he faced many of the ones in the spring game. It's not the same yet. And I've seen a lot of people throughout my career, throughout my playing career, who they were the same guy no matter what. They were the same guy no matter what. They were the same poise. They were the same poise until you see it in the NFL. Oh, he's great in college. Oh, he's great on his rookie deal. Oh, look at that. He got $200 million. Now he plays tight. It's like, well, he was always the same guy before that. The stakes are raising for a player like C.J. Bailey, but you just want him to I guess not rise to it, but remain the same even at the facing of bigger and more difficult consequences and bigger and more difficult challenges. Doran, again, speaking with the media, the head coach, talks about the challenges of facing Clemson on the road.
Well, I mean, they're talented. They've been in the same system, the continuity that he's had longer than me, obviously. So, they have a system. Their kids know it. So do we. We have a system. The crowd noise always on the road, and particularly when you're down there, can be a part of distracting guys and guys, not focusing on the right things with all the things around them. And so just the environment. And conversely, there's nothing better than getting a big crowd quiet, and you have to do that. You have to earn that through the way you play the game. And so we got a big challenge in front of us when you go into someone else's stadium that has, the fanfare that they do.
I'm going to build off of that with a story that was passed along to me on the Pack Therapy podcast, which, by the way, check it out. Episode for this week to get you ready for the Clemson game, featuring myself and Mike Glennon. Available everywhere podcasts can be found, including our YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan. Mike was talking about, right, this is why Mike is so insightful in these sorts of things. He talks about playing at Clemson as the quarterback for NC State. It's pretty direct knowledge of what C.J. Bailey is going to be going through. And I made the point that the best sound in the world is a completely silent away stadium, right? The louder they are at kickoff, the louder they are when you're on third down, the more quiet it feels when you convert that third down or when you score a touchdown. And Mike told a story about how they were at Clemson, a game they ended up winning, and he let the ball go, right? Quarterback throws it. It's what they do. And he got hit. And so he's on his back, right, as happens when you get hit by a defensive lineman. And he didn't know if it was caught or not, right? The ball's in the air, and he's, trying to figure out what happened, and he just heard the entire Clemson stadium go absolutely silent, and he went, catch.
Nailed it.
Must have caught it, right? It's like that's the only way that goes like that. So, the best part about playing on the road in a raucous environment is you have the potential to control the volume. Play well, they're going to get quieter. Build a lead, they're going to get quieter. Shock them at the end of the game, they're going to go from very, very loud to very, very quiet very, very quickly, and it's going to feel awesome. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are going to take a break, but when we come back, we have to make the quarterback shuffle tour. We went with the Panthers and a new quarterback. We went with NC State and a new quarterback. As I alluded to earlier, UNC may be on their third starting quarterback in 4 games. What does that do for the JMU game coming up this weekend? Stick around.
Hey Raleigh homeowners, this is Keith Gregory, Vice President with Baker Home Exteriors, but more importantly, a homeowner like you. I invite you to join the thousands who have trusted us to service and upgrade their homes. We treat every home as the sanctuary it is, transforming and preserving homes with roofing, siding, doors, decks, and window services for over a century. Trust our expert team for professional installation. Visit bakerroofing.com and schedule a time with our team.
Hey John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Stained. And Breaking Benjamin. September 21st at Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guest Daughtry Lakeview. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Stained and Breaking Benjamin, part of the Mattress Warehouse concert series.
It's bow time. It's not just football season.
It's tailgate season, and that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great, it's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go! It's Bo time.
It's truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Get yourself a brand new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 with a combined discount of up to 15% off. Or just 5.9% interest for 84 months with a 9% combined discount when you trade in a 2013 or newer vehicle. See dealer for discounts and details. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. Visit in person today or online at wilkinsoncars.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to perks only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using the promo code Radio1000 and you'll place your first bet today. If you win, great. If not, you'll get it back as a bonus bet up to $1,000. Must be 21 plus and physically present in North Carolina. New users only must register using eligible promo code. First bet after registration must qualify. Max bonus bet $1,000. Bonus bet expires 14 days after receipt. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full items. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Kick football season off with a deal this month from Zero Res. 3 rooms of carpets cleaned starting at $119 and 25% off your air duct cleaning. ZeroResRaleigh.com. Again, that is ZeroResRaleigh.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Grooving out a break. James Madison's coming to UNC this weekend. James Madison coming off a bye. I think that's going to impact this game a little bit because the Tar Heels are back in a quarterback twilight zone. Like you don't. It's a mystery. It's a whodunit. Mac Brown says they plan on playing both Jacoby Criswell and Connor Harrell, who is the starter of the last 2 games, Connor Harrell, and the played most of and finished the last game, Jacoby Criswell. He says they're both going to play, or they're planning on both of them playing, having a role. Yeah, you've lied to us about that in the past, Mac. Going into the opener, what'd you say? Well, we plan on playing both Connor Harrell and Max Johnson, and we plan on them both having a role the entire season. And then what happened? Up until Max Johnson got hurt, it was Max Johnson with a long leash. Max Johnson wasn't even playing particularly well, and you still weren't going to Connor Harrell. I'm old enough to remember week 1 when Max Johnson struggled through the first half, and at halftime, all of Tar Heel Twitter was saying, I bet we see Connor Harrell to start the second, and Max Johnson came out and started the second and played right up until the injury, which was very, very serious, took him out of the game. So with Coach saying once again that both Jacoby and Connor will have a role, I'm leery to believe him. Which puts us in this same little twilight zone where we don't know what the future is. We don't know who it's going to be. And obviously that's part of the gamesmanship that Mac Brown is trying to play with James Madison. I wonder if Mac Brown, when he's getting ready for bed at night, if he's smirking because he's like, I bet you they're
They have no idea.
They can't sleep right now because they are so worried about which quarterback is going to be playing against them. I bet you their defensive coordinator has punched a hole in the wall because he's just so twisted up into a pretzel.
They don't know that I know that they don't know that I know that I know who I'm starting this week.
They know that we know that they know that I could know that I might know that you know that they know. I've already said my piece about this many times. But here's the wrinkle for this week. JMU is coming off a bye, which is a little dangerous when it comes to making sure your quarterback is prepared. Coming out of a bye week, you expect unscouted looks. When your defense, right? If you're an offensive play caller, you're the quarterback, if you're an offensive-minded head coach, whatever. If you're part of the brain trust on an offense, you expect unscouted looks when the other team has a bye. What does that mean? It means, I call them exotics, a blitz that they have not put on film before. Coaches are second Andy Reid reference of the show when it comes to being kind of a wonderkind mind. Andy Reid is notorious, and Kelsey has talked about it, Mahomes has talked about it, Alex Smith has talked about it, so there's enough. He has index cards, and they have the little 5 linemen, little circles on them, right? And then he can just scribble a play real quickly. And he's notorious for, checking out film of a prospect who's playing D2 and seeing a play and going, ooh, grabbing an index card, scribble it down. Might never get to it, might stay in his desk forever, but he writes it down. Or there was one a couple years ago that Pat Mahomes said Andy Reid was watching like the 1947 Rose Bowl, like for fun, and they saw a misdirection running play, and he drew it up, and they ended up running it in like a Chiefs playoff game. The most likely time for a normal non-Andy Reid coach to get creative like that, like, remember that play that Michigan ran 2 years ago that I've always wanted to put in? That's a bye week thing. That's we have a little bit extra time thing. So James Madison is going to bring a blitz that they've never shown on tape before. They're going to disguise a coverage in a way that they've never shown before, which normally is a concern, right? Normally, that is something that everyone worries about. It becomes particularly dangerous for a quarterback that isn't all the way prepared. And if UNC is truly planning, if we take Mac Brown for his word, and they're trying to prepare both Jacoby Criswell and Connor Harrell to start or to play, to have a role, that means they're splitting reps. That means they're not getting every look. That means, right, you can either get one person 100% prepared or two people 50% prepared. And if you're out there getting an unscouted look and you're not all the way prepared, buckle up. And you think buckle up is a metaphor? No, I'm saying buckle up your chin strap, make sure your mouthpiece is in, because you're about to get popped. Which, by the way, they don't even buckle up anymore. This is just me being old.
Yeah,
they have like the little zip ties back there. Zzz. Do you know what I don't like about that?
What's that?
When you make a bad play, maybe you turn it over and you're walking to the sideline. It used to be the aggressive unbuckling of the chin strap.
Oh yeah.
Now it's, what are you going to do? Like, push the button.
Yeah, snap. I used to do like the two hands.
Two hand. Yep, absolutely. Both of them.
Especially like lacrosse.
Way to get your frustration out. It's the same thing with like iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't had a good slam the phone down in decades.
So I'm not breaking this screen.
It's tap. You know what? This conversation is over. Used to be. This conversation is over. It's not that way anymore. You know what coaches still get, though? A good headset slam down.
Throw? Oh.
A good headset slam down. That's about as get your yayas out as possible. I've never seen anyone throw the headset and then go, I still have to go over here and throw a water cooler. Once you get the headset off, it's all out.
So who starts tomorrow? Like, give me a prediction. Who starts tomorrow? You think Criswell goes?
I think it's eerily similar to the first game, in that they're trying to use Connor Harrell's speed as let's make them prepare for a dual threat quarterback, but what we're going to give them is drop back pass. Jacoby Criswell. It'd be weird to go back to Connor after the way that last game went. You didn't go back to him in the second half when the game was in hand. You didn't want to give him, a couple drives to get his mojo flowing again. I think Criswell's the guy, but as we've seen, not the most decisive coaching staff for who's under center. So if I were Connor Harrell, I'd make sure I get a good night's sleep the night before.
It would not surprise me if Criswell starts, but at like random point, like third or fourth series of the game, like middle of the second quarter, Harrell's out there and you start seeing like some speed option and like those kinds of things. Just be like, and JMU's like, wait a second, what was this? And then Criswell's back in there. You maybe have like 2 series in the game kind of planned where Connor Harrell's going to go out there and just completely just kind of, they know, like the team knows going in, hey, at third series, this is what we're going to do.
I've said this before, but the only kind of 2-quarterback system I'm ever okay with is if one is very obviously like a wildcat. Like
essentially use them in that regard.
You're out there to run. You don't want to get the hit on the starter. Maybe the starter's a little lead-footed, meaning not lead-footed like in a car, lead-footed like you got bricks for shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Like second and 2, you want to go run the read option, put him in there for a play, then go right back to the starter on 1st and 10. I'm fine with that. And Connor Harrell could do that. I think he's better than that. I think his skill set is more varied than that. But that's it's a slippery slope because you put him in there to run the ball. You put him in there for a running play. You put them in there for a running play. Then you start thinking, well, actually, I don't want this to be a tell, right? Every time we put him in there, it's a run play. Can't give that to defensive players. So, all right, let's put him in there and run a pass play. And then it's, okay, now let's mix it up. And then pretty soon, it's just, all right, we occasionally put him in to run the offense, and then we have Jacoby Criswell running the offense, so it's a slippery slope. What I will say, last thing I'll say about the UNC offense is regardless who's quarterback, lean on Omarion Hampton. The dude is good. And I'm gonna take it one step further. Trust Davion Goss, the freshman second-string running back, who I saw, according, I think it was Pro Football Focus, may have been some other analytics website, put Goss as, so far through the entire country, he is the 5th highest graded freshman. Mingo, I think it's Mingo, might be Wingo, the wide receiver from Texas maybe, was number 1. And Goss was number 5. Those were the 2 that stuck with me. But trust those guys. Trust them. I get really frustrated when teams act like 2nd and 7 is, oh gosh, now we got to throw it. I'm like, whoa. You got one of the best running backs in the country. Let's go ahead and get him the ball. He'll pick up 5, and then 3rd and 2, you can run it again.
Yeah.
And by the way, if it's 3rd and 6, I might tell Omarion Hampton, hey, you're getting the ball twice.
He can get you 6.
He can get you 4 and 3. He can get you 14. He can get you, there's a lot of different ways 2 runs with Omarion Hampton's going to end up with 6 yards. Lean on Omarion Hampton. Trust Goss if he's in there, giving him a break. Lean on that running game. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go from UNC back to former UNC. Drake Maye, mini debut last night. Drake Maye made his NFL debut last night, and I hate to say it, the Patriots continue to baffle me with how they are developing Drake Maye. If there is an argument for like a situation can kill a quarterback's chances of developing, the Patriots are like, we'll be the science experiment. We'll do everything wrong, and if he still makes it out, then guess what? Panthers, you're off the hook. You didn't ruin Bryce Young. You can't ruin a quarterback. We tried every which way to do it. Damian Woody, ESPN analyst, was asked, are the Patriots setting up Drake Maye to fail?
I don't think so. Listen, just to put this in context, the Patriots were missing a couple starting offensive linemen tonight, and it showed against this Jets front. But I think the Patriots will be best served if they continue to hold him out, because if you put him out there behind a line that's just not willing to protect, that's one way you can really kill a young man before he gets started in this league. So I think you continue to go with Jacoby Brissett, let the young man continue to watch and learn his game, and then once this infrastructure, once this roster a little bit better, then you put him out there.
If that is what the Patriots were doing, then I could agree with you. I agree with you is a strong word. I could see what you're saying, Damian Woody, but here's the problem. Here's where the Patriots are not consistent. He made his debut. Drake Maye goes into the game, first time in a regular season NFL game, with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter, with the Pats trailing 24-3. I'm with that decision. right? Hey, get him live reps. You're going to have to break the seal at some point. Put him in there. Let him play in a game situation. That's valuable experience. But the reason why he's not starting is supposedly what Damian Woody just said. Offensive line isn't great. Don't have the players around him. You don't want to get him killed. You don't want to get him hit a billion times. Okay, fine. So you put him in with 424. Do you know what angered the heck out of me? Why wasn't Ramondre Stevenson in the game with him? Ramondre Stevenson is their starting running back, and Ramondre Stevenson is known as a great pass protector.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Gibson was in there with him. Anybody that watches Washington football over the last 4 or 5 years, Antonio Gibson's a great pass catcher.
Oh, yeah. He played a lot of wide receiver, actually, at Memphis.
Not the best pass protecting running back in the world.
No.
So the reason why you're not starting Drake Maye is because you want to protect him from taking hits. But then you put him in the game and you take out the players that are good at protecting him from getting hit. Listen, Jacoby Brissett, he's getting his butt kicked out there. I already was, but I am gaining more respect. I already respected him, but I'm gaining more respect for Jacoby Brissett for just continuing to stand up. There were a few hits last night where he did like I'm sitting on my butt. Now let me roll over onto my stomach. Now let me do a slow push-up. Now let me get to one knee. It took like 9 steps to get from on the ground to standing because he was taking his time. Like I give him that the Jets blitzed the heck out of him, by the way. I don't know if everybody else saw this, but the Jets blitzed Brissett on 40% of his dropbacks. That's the highest blitz rate in a game that Robert Saleh has called as the Jets head coach. So since 2021, when Saleh took over, they had not blitzed a quarterback as much as they blitzed Brissett last night. He was pressured on 8 of his 10 true dropbacks when blitzed, took more sacks than he had completions on those plays. He was getting, the NFL is a physical game. He experienced it last night. I get why Drake, I keep saying I don't want to agree. I see the logic in why you don't want to subject Drake Maye to that. But then you actually have to protect him. If your goal is to protect him, you actually have to protect him. And then there's the other thing. And this one was, so the whole drive, right? He had like a 16-play drive. It was the most plays and the shortest yardage gained I think I've seen in a drive in a long time. They started at like their own 40. They finished up down near the 10, and it took them 16 plays to get there. So for the first part, I was mad because I was going, where is Ramondre? You need somebody that can step up and stonewall a blitzing linebacker, or else Drake's just going to keep getting himself hit. Then they got all the way down to they picked up a 4th and 10. They made some plays. Drake started finding Pop Douglas. I was going, look at this. Drake Maye's catching a little bit of a rhythm. They get 1st and goal at the 7 with like 30-something seconds left. He takes a sack, 5-yard sack. Not the end of the world. 2nd and goal to 12. More than 20 seconds on the clock. Guess what the Patriots did? Let's walk to the sideline. Play clock's longer than the game clock. We're just going to be done. They had a timeout.
Yeah.
Call the time. He's in there for reps and experience. That's the only reason Drake Maye goes into the game with 4:24 left. Yeah. He's in there to learn. Give him the most valuable experience possible. NFL game experience in the red zone where the field shrinks, where the windows get smaller, where the decisions have to be quicker. Give him 2nd and 12. Treat it like it's a 2-minute drive you're trying to win a game.
Hey, 4 downs here.
Because one day you're going to want Drake Maye to have a 2-minute drive to win the game, and you're going to want him to be able to say, I've been here before. Really? No, but kind of. I play. It's the reason Drake Maye isn't playing is one of 2 things. 1, you don't want him to get hit a bunch, or 2, you don't think he's ready. I can't really come up with another logical reason. Because if you're like, it's because Jacoby Brissett is better, we all watched preseason where Drake Maye outplayed him the entire preseason.
And even his head coach said Drake Maye played better.
Yes. So the two reasons you might not be playing him are, one, you don't want to get him hurt. You don't want to get him hit. You don't want him seeing, feeling footsteps in the pocket. Or you don't think he's ready. By not putting him in there with the best pass protectors, you're not protecting him from getting hit. And by not calling the timeout to let him play out the game and see if he can have success and get the reps, you're not helping him get ready. The Patriots continue to baffle me. The Patriots continue to not make sense. But if you were watching the game on Amazon, they did show that head coach Gerard Mayo loves an old school prank. During warm-ups, when there's balls flying around the whole field, he walks up to people, he looks up and he goes, "Oh, whoa, whoa," and then they all cover their heads and scram. They showed him doing it like 3 or 4 times during pregame for Thursday Night Football. Maybe Bill Belichick wouldn't have done that. Maybe have a little bit better plan for Drake Maye and a little bit less of a plan for I gotcha.
Well, as Chad Walker just pointed out here on a YouTube Live, in terms of not playing him, doesn't get hit and stuff, or you don't want another Bryce Young.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Again, I don't agree with that, but if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to prevent somebody going out there and not playing well, then why are you putting him in with 4:24 left? And why are you putting him in at 4:24 left with backups around him?
My guess is the Jets were probably playing a lot of their backups on defense as well.
They were, but you know what they weren't doing?
What's that?
They weren't calling off, like, it was.
They were still blitzing.
Yeah, it was, hey, we got our special teamers out there, but our special teamers are flying around the edge with their hair on fire. So, I don't know if there's a giant difference in the physicality of a hit by a first-string linebacker or a second-string linebacker. It seems like everyone in the NFL, particularly on the defense, can do some damage. But Drake Maye was feeling it. So if you're fully on board with, like, the Panthers ruined Bryce Young and the Patriots are watching and saying we want to avoid that at all costs, I mean, then truly redshirt him, right? Then go get another backup quarterback and have Drake Maye dress but be the third stringer. Like, if you are, we need a redshirt year, this guy needs to watch and learn, make that the priority. Because even if you didn't want to play Drake Maye, Jacoby Brissett, all those times I gave him the respect for standing up and playing through those hits, he easily could have said, "Ow, my oblique." Right? He easily could have said, I can't breathe. I think I cracked a rib. And then Drake Maye's in there anyway. Imagine that. You think playing Drake Maye might turn him into Bryce Young, might turn him into a player that many consider a bust. And you still are dressing him as the number 2, going like, well, if Jacoby Brissett gets hurt, we just might have to risk him turning into Bryce Young. Like, that's a big, big, big consequence. If you're going to play him for 424, play him. And if you're worried about protecting him, put your best pass protectors in there, keep 6 in the formation, and call quick-hitting plays. I'm a little upset by this. I didn't think I was going to be that worked up about Drake Maye. A little worked up on a Friday. Friday's supposed to be optimistic. Let's appreciate greatness for a second, shall we? You see what Shohei did last night?
Yeah. How could you not? I think he just hit another homer.
It did feel like that. The third one felt like because I wasn't watching the game. I was watching a football game. The third home run that Shohei hit did feel like, am I seeing the same tweets again? Or is this a new one? Is this the same thing? Whether you watch baseball often or not, whether you're a Dodgers fan or not, Shohei is someone that will be talked about for decades. And you want to make sure you appreciate that kind of greatness. You don't want to be the one that's like, yeah, Willie Mays kind of rooted against him. Like, you don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, yeah, Willie Mays, or name your player, right? Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, whoever. Yeah, when I didn't really pay much attention to it. When your grandkids are like, what was it like to watch Shohei?
I didn't.
I didn't watch baseball at that time. Shohei is in the 50. People keep saying 50-50 club. He stole another base and hit another home run. He's in the 51-51 club, which is absurd. He has 51 home runs hit, 51 stolen bases, 51 home runs leads the majors, or leads the AL, or flip
NL.
that, NL. He's bounced around.
Sure.
Anyway, And in doing so, in joining a club that has never been joined before, nobody had ever joined the 50-50 club.
Yep, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases in the same season. Never been done before until last night.
He went 6 for 6 in the game. 3 home runs, 10 RBI, 2 doubles, and 2 stolen bases. People are calling it the greatest game ever. And certain advanced analytics, as far as like win probability added and all of that, might be. And to do that on a night when you have the opportunity to join a club as the season statistics that has never been joined before is absurd. Imagine, do you remember like let me think, when McGuire hit 62?
Yes.
Imagine if he did that and like also hit for the cycle.
Yeah, while doing it.
Yeah, imagine if he did that, but it was like he hit 4 home runs that day. That's kind of what Shohei did. He broke a record, set a new standard, and oh, by the way, had a day that would be like leading SportsCenter even if the 50-50 club didn't happen that day. The 10 RBIs are the most by a Dodgers player since RBIs became an official statistic. The 51 homers also set a Dodgers record for most in a single season. In one day, he went 6 for 6, hit 3 home runs, 10 RBI, 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, joined the 50-50 club and the 51-51 club, became the all-time Dodgers single-season home run record holder, and set the record for most RBIs in a game by a Dodger. And you want to know the craziest part about this? This is the least impressive season Shohei has had in at least the last 3 years. I get we're more excited by hitting and, you know, fans dig the long ball and all that. He also pitches. And he can't do that this year because he had elbow surgery, so he's just, quote-unquote, just a hitter. I think if you win 10 games while also being one of the best hitters in baseball, that's more impressive than anything Shohei did this year. That's how good this dude is.
So this is according to OptaStats. Since RBIs, runs batted in, became official in 1920, only one major league player has had, over the course of their entire career, whether same game or not, has had a game where they've had 10 RBIs, has had a game where they've had 6 hits, a game where they've had 5 extra base hits, a game where they've had 3 home runs, and a game where they've had 2 stolen bases. Only one player in Major League Baseball history has done all 5 of those things.
Each individually once in their career.
Shohei did it all in one day, and he's the only person that's ever done it, and he did it all in one game.
And on the same day, he joined the 50-50 club, which has also not been done.
Bonkers.
Appreciate greatness. Appreciate greatness. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, I need to tell you about Window Nation. Tim Donnelly here for Window Nation. We actually just filmed earlier today a video commercial for social media for Window Nation, Dennis and I. And all I have to tell you is look out for it. But in addition to watching us make a fool of ourselves, we do say in the video, Window Nation has a buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free promotion running right now through the end of the month. So September 30th is the cutoff. If you want the awesome windows, if you want the lower energy bill in your house, if you want the satisfaction of knowing you have a lifetime warranty on your windows, if you want to protect yourself from the riffraff of outside, like I do, then go ahead and give them a call. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this. Not only is it buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, it's also 0 down, no interest or payments for 24 months. So we're giving you savings all over the place. Now, give them a call to schedule a fast, no-obligation in-home estimate and presentation with the pros at Window Nation. The number to call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or you can visit them online at windownation.com. Once again, that is windownation.com. And pay attention to our social medias for that video coming out soon. Football 4 is coming up next. When it comes to the Panthers and their defense, I want everyone to remember this. Through the first 2 games, Bryce Young didn't miss any tackles. So they're going to have to – Andy Dalton's not going to help the defense is what I'm saying. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Look, I know the contract's good. It gives the Hurricanes an additional $500,000 more per year in cap space. But the best part about this deal is that Seth's here for the next 8 years. And if all goes well, he'll be here for the following 8 years as well, because he's headed to market again when he's just 30, and he should be at the height of his powers. Great deal for both sides, and we are lucky to have Jarvie in town.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
It's truck season at John Heister Chevrolet, and boy, have we got a deal for you. Right now, you can get that 24 Silverado 1500 LTZ you've been wanting, or up to $14,000 off when you trade in a 2010 or newer car or light-duty vehicle, including 3/4 and 1-ton pickups and vans. Up to $14,000 off a brand new 24 Silverado 1500 LTZ. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. Together, let's drive.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Raleigh's injury lawyers.
Bounces his way into the end zone. Touchdown!
Visit GotBrian.com.
That's GotBrian.com. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Partly cloudy skies out there. It's a warm afternoon, but not quite as muggy as it was yesterday. We'll see a high of 83 degrees. Like yesterday, though, we'll have just a couple of pop-up isolated showers and thunderstorms, and we'll see that again Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Overnight tonight, we drop down to 62, and our highs over the weekend will be in the mid-80s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 36 points today to 42,061. Market update brought to you by Copa Airlines. Fly Copa Airlines from RDU to Latin America and get 2 vacations in 1. Enjoy a stopover in Panama for up to 7 days with no extra airfare. Book your Panama stopover today at copa.com. That's COPA.com.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Reminder, in about a half hour at 4:33, we are going to be taking 3 callers, official contestants we'll call them, to pick the Panthers' first touchdown scorer. who's going to score it this weekend against the Raiders, I should say. Who's going to score the touchdown and in what quarter are they going to score it? If you get both right and you're one of those three that we take on the phone lines, you will win a prize pack that includes a gift card for Audubon Car Wash, some other prize pack things. Everybody else, if you're not one of the three chosen as official contestants, you can head to our YouTube live stream, comment with who you think is going to be the first touchdown scorer and in what quarter. You can send it to us on Twitter. There's a bunch of different ways you can get that info to us. And if you do and you get it right, you'll get ultimate bragging rights. But only the three that call in will get a chance at the prize pack. Right now, Panther fans, we're focusing on the other side of the ball. Football at 4 is all about the defense. And guess what? Bryce Young had nothing to do with the defense. So this air of fresh start and this air of something's different, they made a big change. Now, the defense pretty much just has to improve on their own, right? The big change that has breathed new life into the Panthers has nothing to do with the defense, especially, I would say, like the first half, right? Because I guess if you get into the second half and you say that Bryce Young's 3 and outs were tiring out the defense, all right, fine. If you're collapsing in the fourth quarter because the offense doesn't possess the ball enough, fine. But for the first 3 quarters, the defense is just the defense. And the defense for the Carolina Panthers has given up the most points per game in the NFL thus far. They have given up the most points of any team in the league. They have given up the most points through 2 games in franchise history. They have given up a ton of points.
Lots.
And more concerning, Dennis, and I think we both thought this was going to be better, second most rushing yards per game.
Yeah, 4.9.
That's per carry.
Per carry, yes.
That was supposed to be a strength.
Well, yes, it was.
It was supposed to be. Notice I didn't.
Supposed
to is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
And then the Chargers gashed it for 200 plus.
That's not acceptable.
No. And by the way, Shai Tuttle missed his 3rd day of practice this week. So you're already down Derek Brown. Now Shai Tuttle's nicked up. He hasn't practiced this week. Yeah. I think they have 6 healthy defensive linemen if you count active roster and practice squad.
Yet despite all of that, they have to play better. They have to, or else it doesn't matter what Andy Dalton does. Andy Dalton on the other side of the ball is going to do his best to score an adequate amount of points. I don't think it's fair to ask him to go win a shootout against, gunslinger Gardner Minshew and Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers and everyone else over there with the Raiders. You need to get after the quarterback if you're the Carolina defense. You cannot give them all day to throw. You need to stop the run. It can't just be J.C. Horn making an occasional big play, but I will give him credit for trying and doing everything he can, even if he got burnt for a touchdown. I don't think that touchdown should have counted because the previous play, J.C. Horn forced a fumble, and I didn't think the review showed that it shouldn't have been a fumble. But here's my whole point here. The offense has a reason to expect different outcomes. All right? If you are Deontay Johnson, if you are Jatavian Sanders, if you are Robert Hunt, you're looking around saying, I can play as good as I've been playing, and we will have an increase in production because we have a different player at quarterback. If you are on defense for the Carolina Panthers, that doesn't exist. If you don't play better as individuals, your defense will not get better. There is, like, if Derek Brown were coming back next week, then sure, when Derek Brown comes back, you'd expect the defense to play better. He's not. He's on season-ending IR. So the players on the Panthers, simply on the Panthers defense, simply have to figure out a way to individually improve. There's nobody that is coming to save them. Ejiro Evero, the defensive coordinator, there is no ace in the hole that you have, no secret sauce that you can sprinkle on this defense in terms of a new player or something that you've kept in the back of the playbook. It is about, and to his credit, Jadeveon Clowney, their big free agent who hasn't really had much production, when he speaks to the media, he calls it like he sees it. He goes, no, we just got to look at the guy who's across from us and whip their tail. There's, I respect the heck out of. Sometimes I don't love the way he treats the media, but I respect the way the heck out of the way Greg Popovich coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I also love him mic'd up. If you listen to the show, I'm listening to all the mic'd up segments. He was mic'd up one time, and this was his timeout. Calls a timeout, right? And he's got a veteran team, so maybe it's a little different. It was the Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker era. And the players all come over and they sit down. Starters or the guys on the court are sitting down in the folding chairs, right? And the coach goes and discusses with his assistant coach. And they're talking. And they're talking and they're talking. And the timeout's almost over. And he walks over to the players and he sits down and he looks at him and he goes, "You guys just got to play better." End of timeout.
Okay, got it.
And what I respected about it was sometimes that's just it. Sometimes it's like, you know, hey, we're scheming open shots, and you're a good shooter. There's nothing else I can do here. Like, that's the scheme worked.
Yeah, make the shot.
So the same is kind of true for the Panthers. It's like, hey, if the offensive lineman is just moving our defensive lineman back so he can't get in the gap that he's supposed to fill, I don't know. I can't call the defense that like is makes it so you aren't responsible for anything. Like, you're gonna have to get in the gap that we ask you to cover up. You're gonna have to hold your own against the offensive line. If J.C. Horn gets beat one-on-one by Quentin Johnston like he did last week in the Chargers game, I don't know if Ejiro Evero is looking around going like, what a bad call by me. You had your best cover guy on what up to last week was a bust of a wide receiver, and they won. It's like, well, all I can do is put J.C. Horn there.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is true on all of these different cases, right? Jadeveon Clowney, you might get double-teamed. Do you know why? Because you're the best and only real name recognition we have up front. I don't think there's a play call Evero has to not get you double-teamed. The timeout is called. I'm going to need you to beat the double team. All right. and then you go to the other side.
On it, Coach.
Hey, JC, don't get beat by that guy. It's not always the crazy, hey, guys, I know we've been a 4-down defensive lineman system this entire time. Let's go to 3 down and let's blitz every play because we're going to obviously what we're doing isn't working. You can't always just uproot everything you're doing.
The one thing that you hope for the defense is that they're not on the field so much.
I said that, I think, while you were logging. I was
going to say, I got numbers here. I got stats.
Ooh, I like
here. The Carolina Panthers, in terms of total plays per game, offensively, average 50.5. That's next to last
Not very good.
in the entire NFL.
You want to be up near like 70.
Yeah. Well, the highest in the NFL right now is there's 3 teams that are 70 or above. They're Detroit, Philly, and Miami. In terms of time of possession, Carolina Panthers defensively are out there for over 36 minutes a game, which is the second most in the entire NFL. The only team that has been out there more is the Indianapolis Colts.
They're not very good either.
Yes. So that's the thing. Like, maybe if the offense is out there a little more, defense might be a little bit more fresh. But some of the stuff that's happening is like you're getting gashed for long runs in the first quarter. You're not tired right now. That's
the point I made earlier. You can't blame tired on giving up a deep touchdown to Rashid Shaheed on the essentially first pass of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, the offense wasn't on the field long enough. They hadn't even had the ball yet.
Yeah.
If it were just second half collapses, I do think you could look at the offense and say, you're wearing out your defense. But it's like, watch the first half and the second half. There's not a lot different as far as the defense struggling. And I'd be even more mad if they were like pacing themselves. If they're like, well, we don't put all the effort out there in the first quarter because, I don't want to be tired in the fourth. It's like, no, it's much more of like a 400-meter sprint than a mile. You just run as fast as you can and hope you reach that finish line. You're not out there checking your watch to make sure you're not running too fast on the opening strides. With that being said, don't sleep on the Raiders. Gardner Minshew may not be the best, but he's definitely good enough to gash you. And Brock Bowers looks like the real one early in his career as a tight end. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of the Panthers, we still have the Paw Print to get to. 2 players to watch from me, 2 players to watch from Dennis for this upcoming game, and we want to introduce you to Club Lenovo. Canes fans, you'll figure out what that's about. Club Lenovo introduced in the next segment as well. Stick around.
Keep pounding. Panther Talk, Panthers Playbook, the Paw Print. Follow your Carolina Panthers all season with us.
The snap, handoff, Chuba Hubbard, big hole across the middle, and Hubbard cyclones across the 40 to the 41. It's a gain of 11. It's Chuba's longest rush of the season, the Panthers' longest running play of the season.
Your home for complete Carolina Panthers coverage. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
It's truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Get yourself a brand new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 with a combined discount of up to 15% off. Or just 5.9% interest for 84 months with a 9% combined discount when you trade in a 2013 or newer vehicle. See dealer for discounts and details. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. Visit in person today or online at wilkinsoncars.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Few bits of housekeeping to make sure you know how to win stuff. 4:33, we have our first touchdown scorer competition going on. So you can call in at 4:33. We'll give you the number and open up the lines at that time. But you call in, you try to guess who the first touchdown scorer for the Panthers will be this upcoming game against Vegas, and in what quarter that is. And if you get it right on the air when you call in, you'll get a nice little prize pack.
By the way, Sean, actually here on our YouTube Live, said Carolina wins at 21-20. He has the first touchdown coming from Chuba Hubbard, but he didn't say what quarter, though.
I like 21-20. That'd be an exciting game at least.
I just want to win.
To be honest, I just don't want to blow out. I just don't want to blow out.
I just want to win. Or competitive. Can we just get one? Like just this week? One.
There'd be a lot of Bryce hate if they win this week.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the only way you can win, however, right? You can call in 433, pick the first touchdown score, pick what quarter they scored in, and that would be one way to win. Another way is Brooks and Dunn are heading to the Lenovo Center,
yes,
a.k.a. formerly known as PNC Arena, on March 27th. That's when Brooks and Dunn will be there on their Neon Moon Tour with special guests David Lee Murphy and more. You can enter to win a pair of tickets to that show by texting SHOW, that's the key word, SHOW, to 919-860-5326. Brooks and Dunn at the Lenny on March 27th. Neon Moon Tour. Text SHOW to enter to win. SHOW, just that word, text it in to 919-860-5326. There you go. I'm trying to help everybody out, trying to tell you how you can win things. Now I'm going to try to help you out with something we call the Paw Print. There it is. Getting you ready for the Panthers this weekend. We're going to give you 2 players to watch each. We call this the Paw Print. We do it every Friday. You know what? We need to change up the vibes, change up the juju when it comes to the Panthers. So as we get into the Paw Print, presented by Carolina Ford Dealers, by the way, thank you to them for their support. As we get into the Paw Print,
okay.
Obviously what we've been doing the first couple of weeks ain't been working.
It has not.
So let's switch it up. You lead off.
Oh,
Who's
I'm
your
going to
first
lead
player
off?
to watch?
Okay.
This is going to change everything. I'm not superstitious. I'm really not. I don't believe this. But maybe it will. Maybe this will change everything. Rally caps on.
All right, first player I'm looking out for, Jatavian Sanders. I feel like this could be one of those like, hey, wily old vet, Andy Dalton, hey, what's my safety blanket? I know Adam Thielen's going to get covered a bunch. Deontay Johnson's going to get covered a bunch. Hey, I'm going to you, Jatavian Sanders. Hey, you be ready? I'm coming to you. I'm going to be coming to you a bunch this week. You sit there in that little zone right there in the middle of the field. If I got nothing, I'm coming right to you. Better have your hands up, ready to catch the ball. Jatavian Sanders, difference maker.
I love that pick. I love that pick. I think I've had Jatavian Sanders as one of my players to watch in earlier weeks. I also love the relationship between a veteran quarterback and a young tight end, because I do feel like there's a lot of, hey, man, come here. When they do that, next time, 3 steps to the left. Like it's a field position, right? Everybody thinks Mahomes-Kelsey. Kelsey learned a lot of that from Alex Smith. And then Mahomes shows up, and it's all of a sudden pouring gasoline onto that fire. But the veteran quarterback that can be like, man, when the safety's coming down like that, just keep going. Like, I think that's going to help out a little bit. And when not saying Bryce didn't know that sort of stuff, but he had enough on his own plate that he probably wasn't worried about what other guys were doing. My first player to watch is Xavier Woods.
Okay.
It might not be Xavier Woods. This pick represents whoever's responsible for guarding and defending Brock Bowers. The Panthers have not, on defense, they haven't done a good job of much, but they've done a particularly poor job of stopping tight ends. 10 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns allowed to tight ends through the first 2 weeks.
That's not great.
Combine that with Brock Bowers setting a record for most catches, 15, and most receiving yards, 156, by a rookie tight end in his first 2 NFL games. You need to mark that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know where he is. So whether it's Xavier Woods, whether it's Jordan Fuller, whether it's somebody out of the linebacking core, whoever is matched up with Brock Bowers is a player to watch for me, because you cannot let Gardner Minshew get into a rhythm for everything you just said about Jatavian Sanders, but times 10 for Brock Bowers, because, I mean, there's a reason why Brock Bowers was the upper half of the first-round pick. He's really gosh darn good. So Xavier Woods / whoever's guarding Brock Bowers is a player to watch for me.
Next one for me, A'Shawn Robinson. The reason why I say that is, again, no Derek Brown.
Because you have to watch him, because he doesn't pop on your screen if you're not seeking out watching him.
Well, he's usually about 5 yards downfield, which isn't good because he's being pushed there. The big man up front was brought in to be a wrecker in terms of the run game, right?
Debo.
He was supposed to be like, hey, you know what? Derek Brown, you, Shy Tuttle up front, you guys should be able to just clog up the middle. No one should run against you. We have not seen him make one impact play yet. A'Shawn Robinson. Have not seen him make one impact play, and he was a pretty high-signed free agent this offseason for the Panthers. No Tuttle, probably, most likely. He hasn't practiced for 3 straight days this week, so I'm assuming no Shohei Tuttle. And if he is playing, he's going to be well less than 100%. And obviously no Derek Brown. So guess what? This is on you to step up now. All the rush stats that we just gave out about 15 minutes ago, a lot of that's on you. Like, I don't know, get a stalemate at the line of scrimmage. Don't get pushed back. Just even get a stalemate at the line of scrimmage just to allow guys to get to the football, and don't give up 4.9 yards a carry. Make it 3.9.
3 years, $22.5 million, the contract he's on.
Yep.
Cap hit for this year is 3.2. Next year, 8.6. They could move on from him after this year and have just a $4.1 million cap hit, but then you have a $4.1 million cap hit of somebody that's not on your team.
Well, they got
a bunch of those.
They need to
stop doing that. They need to stop doing that. So
Yeah.
A'Shawn Robinson better get worth the money real quick.
Yeah.
I made a rule for my two. Their first name had to be Xavier.
Okay.
So Xavier Legette.
Oh, okay.
Andy Dalton will get him the ball if he is open and in space. Like the appeal of putting in somebody like Andy Dalton at quarterback isn't, oh, he's going to make the wondrous plays. Isn't, oh, he's going to throw across his body to a, he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers out there if you watched last night, fitting the ball into tiny windows and run all over the place, which is ironic because Aaron Rodgers might be the only quarterback older than Andy Dalton. But what Andy Dalton will do is, hey, if the defense leaves you open 5 yards downfield, I'm going to get you the ball, and now let's see what you can do yards after the catch. And that's also kind of what Xavier Legette is supposed to be like his calling card. So if Andy Dalton will get you the ball when you're open and in space, now what are you going to do with it? Make a guy miss, run a guy over, outrun somebody to the corner and turn a 7-yard gain into a 25-yard gain. Sometimes I hate all the advanced analytics, but there's one I do like, which recently it popped up with a long touchdown run by James Cook, whenever that was, last Thursday I think it was, when he had the 3 touchdowns for Buffalo. And it said, the expected yards gained on that play were like 6 yards, and he turned it into like a 40-yard touchdown. And I went, that is why you draft people with just pure talent, right? Xavier Legette, he's somebody that should take a catch that a normal receiver, 8 yards, right? Catch it, angle out of bounds. He should be able to turn that into more. And then how much more, that's just gravy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, that is the Paw Print presented by Carolina Ford Dealers. Check them out for the truck or SUV, the Ford that you need. Paw Print, again, presented by Carolina Ford Dealers. So this happened yesterday, this next thing. And by the way, 4:33, we will be taking calls for a first touchdown scorer for the Panthers. So if you haven't already, start thinking about who you think is going to score the first touchdown for the Carolina Panthers and in what quarter. So this happened yesterday. Dennis, if you listened in yesterday was the first day of practice for the Carolina Hurricanes. They're in training camp. They are getting ready for their season, which starts in less than a month. And their first practice was yesterday. So both Adam Gold, who hosts the show previous to this one, the Adam Gold Show, every weekday, noon to 3 on 99.9 The Fan and other stations around the state, and Dennis, who produces this show, both spent time over there at practice. They were tracking down interviews. They were talking to players. We aired some of them yesterday. But something I thought was pretty funny was when Dennis was interviewing the young guys. We're talking about the prospects who are hoping to make the opening day roster, something that I have a really fun time kind of tracking and paying attention to. There was a distinct club vibe in the background. Little boots and cats. Is this the actual song?
This is the actual song.
All right, so this was playing in the locker room loudly. So we were getting like serious, what do you think you have to do to make the opening day roster of an NHL team? And how's how much weight did you put on? Like serious questions. And in the background you just heard this. Jam it.
I'll actually play one of the clips for you. This is me actually talking to Bradley Nadeau, and I was asking him, hey, what about getting to know guys off the ice? And this is playing in the background. You can hear right here.
I think it's really big. It's all about chemistry, and the more you know your teammates on and off the ice, the more you'll perform on the ice. So I think getting to know them, hang out with them, and stuff is really important. And most of us were here all summer, so we got a while to do that.
So here's the funny thing, right?
Club Vo, baby, let's go.
You need to let these things happen organically. We've been debating for over a week now what we're going to call the Lenovo Center. The Lenny, the Vo, the Lensen, the LC, like all of these different options. Then you hear just a bass-heavy Russian pop song in the locker room. Club Lenovo. Club Lenovo, Club Lenny, Club Vo, Club Lenovo.
By the way, I had to do a translate. We're clean here. We're good.
All right, all these words are radio
We're
safe.
good. We're FCC friendly here.
So throughout camp, training camp, preseason, we're going to call our Canes camp updates Club Lenovo. We're going to get some music jamming, and we're going to update you on what's gone on with the practices, injuries, the like. Speaking of injuries,
Club Vo action.
Club Vo, Club Lenny. Welcome to Club Lenovo, where we keep you updated on the Canes. Find a spot in the corner, table and bottle service. Going to be expensive. But yes, we are 2 days into training camp, and already we have two different players, kind of injuries to update you on. William Carrier, Scott Morrow. Carrier, veteran free agent, signed this offseason. Did not finish just the end of like sprints at the end of practice.
Yeah, basically their conditioning test at the end of practice. That's when he pulled up laboring.
That was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott Morrow, who's one of the younger, he's a rookie vying for a spot on the defensive side of the ice. He was in the later practice. He did not finish, left practice early, and then was in street clothes today. Rod Brindamore can update us here on the latest injuries.
Scotty just felt something a little funky, and so we just took him out for today. I think he should be fine tomorrow. Will is going for he again, same thing happened to him, but his we think might be a little more have a little more sting to it. So he's getting checked out today. So hopefully that's nothing serious.
So based on what Rod just said there, and by the way, more info than we normally get from Rod Brindamore there. Scott Morrow, the youngster, cautionary for a day and a half, probably back tomorrow. William Carrier, maybe something that's going to last a little bit more. They kind of need to explore more, need to do more evaluation. I mean, if you had to choose, the veteran probably would be the one you'd want to miss a little bit more time this early, and the young guy you'd want on the ice. If it weren't for the fact that I believe Carrier is working on finding his place in the lineup, and we know he will be in the lineup. Scott Morrow wouldn't be the end of the world if he doesn't start on the NHL roster. Matter of fact, I think it's a long shot he starts on the NHL roster. But still, I mean, you'd rather not have these things so early in camp, but you see it in every sport. When you go from an off season, when you go from hanging out on your couch, and I'm not saying that's all they do, but you work out, you try to stay in shape. It's different than hockey shape. You get out there, you're going to have some pulls, some tweaks, those sorts of things. As long as it is nothing super duper serious, I'm going to choose not to get all worked up about it. There probably will be bigger roller coaster swings both up and down before we get to game one. That's just kind of how it is when you're playing a contact sport and you're getting ready for a professional season. Other than that, seems like everybody's doing what they should do at camp. Everybody's playing hard. Everybody's trying to get on the same page. You're trying to build up the chemistry with the new guys, and it seems like that's what they're doing.
You know, it's interesting with Carrier being hurt because he was skating alongside Jordan Martinook and Jordan Stahl yesterday. I think that opens up another spot for potentially a rookie to come up. Maybe it's two, depending on how long this injury takes.
That's the free trial.
That has crossed my mind.
A veteran that gets hurt for a little bit, that's the free trial of the rookie. You don't have to like make them a permanent part in the rotation, but you get that 7-day free trial on the streaming service just to see if there's any shows you like. You never want someone to get hurt, but every situation comes with a silver lining. If there is a short to medium term absence, it could be an opportunity for a rookie to turn some heads and prove what they're able to do. So there you go. Club Lenovo, Club Lenny, Club Vo. We'll do that throughout training camp as news needs to be spread to all of you. One thing we do throughout football season is first touchdown scorer predictions. Every Friday before the Panthers game, obviously excusing the bye week, at 4:33, we ask you to predict who the first touchdown scorer will be for the Carolina Panthers. We take 3 callers. They'll be the official contestants. If any of those 3 get it right, first player to score and in what quarter they get it right, they get a prize pack, Autobell Car Wash gift card, a bunch of other stuff, merch, all kinds of – it's a prize pack. It comes with multiple things. But you have to get it right to get the prize pack, and you have to call in and tell us. The number to call, we'll open them up right now, is 919-860-5326. It's the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Call in with who you think is going to be the first touchdown scorer for the Panthers and in what quarter you think they're going to score. If you get it right, you'll be hooked up with a prize pack. I see Dennis is already working the lines. As he gets those sorted, I'll give you mine. And I'm going to be honest here, and I think this is a compliment and kind of a best-case scenario. I tried to think of the most boring passing touchdown I could think of. Right? If Andy Dalton is doing what he should be doing, and if this offense looks the way it should look, I think if they get a passing touchdown, it should be boring. It should be an open guy for like 7 yards on 2nd and goal from the 7. So I'm taking Deontay Johnson in the second quarter.
Deontay in the second, okay.
Deontay, just your highest paid wide receiver in the second quarter. I'm not talking a 50-yarder. I'm talking like a 12-yarder. Just boring offensive football. That's what I'm going with. That does not bar Deontay from one of the callers, by the way. The callers can't pick the same, but they can pick the same as me or Dennis or anybody else who's just playing for bragging rights.
You know, I've gone Thielen in the second quarter each of the last 2 weeks. Give me Thielen in the first.
Okay.
Give me Thielen in the
That's
first.
the problem. I was giving him too much time to
Exactly.
score.
Thielen in the first.
I've told this story before, but it stuck with me. The Globetrotters when I was a kid. Showtime was his name. He missed a half-court shot, and I was like, oh. All the kids, oh. He goes, I know the problem. He grabs the microphone. I know the problem. I was too close. Backed up like 10 feet, missed again. I know the problem. I was too close, backed up like 10 feet, and made it. As a kid, I'm like, that's awesome. As an adult, I'm like, he would have just kept backing up 10 feet until he made it, and it would have still played. So you're saying it was just he gave Adam Thielen too much time.
Exactly.
Got to do it in the first quarter. Barry in Smithfield will take your guess first. Barry in Smithfield on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Who scores the first touchdown, and in what quarter do they do it?
I'm going to go with Leggett in the first.
Leggett in the first. You like the rookie?
Yeah, well, Andy Dalton's out there. He ain't no rookie.
That is true. Between Leggett and Andy Dalton, they have like 15 years of experience in the NFL. Appreciate it, Barry. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you, but you are locked in with Leggett in the first. Mike in Durham, you are up next. Mike in Durham, who's your first touchdown scorer and in what quarter?
I am going Shaq Thompson, first quarter.
Ooh, defensive touchdown.
Yes, sir.
I just ask one favor. If you get that right, you immediately go out and buy a lottery ticket.
I definitely will.
All right, perfect. Mike, I appreciate it. You're locked in. Shaq Thompson, you said the first quarter?
First quarter, yes,
right,
sir.
You're locked in with Shaq Thompson in the first. And that brings us to our third and final official contestant, Wyatt and Gardner. Wyatt, who is going to score the first touchdown for the Panthers, and in what quarter are they going to do it?
I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard in the second.
Chuba in the second. Chuba has been a very popular answer throughout this season, but you're the only one locked in with Chuba Hubbard this week. Chuba in the second. Appreciate it, Wyatt. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you. But the 3 official contestants are locked in. Barry has Xavier Leggett, the rookie, in the first. Mike has Shaq Thompson, the linebacker, in the first. And Wyatt has Chuba Hubbard in the second. If you are I already gave mine with Deontay Johnson in the second quarter. Dennis went Adam Thielen in the first quarter. There's a lot of options here. This is kind of worth pointing out, and shout out to somebody in our YouTube comments that pointed it out. It's probably pretty rare that a team going into week 3 decides to very publicly bench their leading touchdown scorer. But that's exactly what the Panthers did. There's only one touchdown that has been scored by the Carolina Panthers, and it was Bryce Young. So, the group out there, part of me goes like, hey, Mike and Durham, you really picked a linebacker? That's pretty bold, kind of out there. You sure you want to do that? But then part of me is like, heck, the wide receivers haven't scored one. The running backs haven't scored one. The tight ends haven't scored one. Is that any crazier? We keep picking those positions. We should have made that option. It should have been like spades. You should have been able to go nil. Should have been able to go double nil. Should have been able to pick nobody will score a touchdown. I wonder how many people would race to the phone lines to pick that one. But we're more optimistic than that. So you have to actually pick a person to score.
Yes.
Nil would have been a funny option if you could say nobody's going to score a touchdown.
We actually had someone that called in when we teased that about a half hour ago. Like, will you take no touchdown as an option? I said, yeah, why not? Let's roll with it.
All right. I wasn't sure if we would have, but it would have been funny, that's for sure.
Let's see. So Sean says Chuba Hubbard in the first. Braxton online says Xavier Legette first quarter kick return. I like this.
You know what?
Like this.
You can tell.
I like this.
You can tell the fan base is like a little loopy, right? Like a little punch drunk. These first 2 weeks have really hit them hard.
Yeah.
And now they're like, linebacker in the first. Kick return, first quarter.
Hey, I'm for it.
The first week was like Chuba in the first, Chuba in the second, Adam Thielen in the second. We just got a lot of like, hey, if things this is how we can predict them. Now we're to the point they're like, Canales calls his own number.
Canales activates himself.
Yeah. He's a game day activation from the practice squad, and he scores twice in the first quarter. Like now it's just, the season's already haywire. Let's lean into it.
Eric also says Chuba Hubbard in the first.
There you go. Nice, safe, logical answer.
I'm going for my pick of Thielen in the first. I'm going to go from the 8-yard line on 3rd and goal.
On 3rd and goal?
3rd and goal, 8-yard line, Adam Thielen.
I like that. I like the 3rd and goal of it because I hope that means they were down there and ran the ball twice, and then they had to throw it. Because let the running game breathe a little bit. Dave Canales. Let the running game breathe a little. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Whether you call it, we were just calling first touchdown scores. We were predicting it, right? Whether you call it a touchdown, a tutty, a TD, taking it to the house, pay dirt, the end zone, whatever you want to call it, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. If you're ready to make your first place your first NFL bet, try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. All those options we were just discussing are going to be on DraftKings Sportsbook, and they're going to be available for you. If you want the odds, I can help you out on that. Who did we predict here? Deontay Johnson, plus 295. Adam Thielen, plus 290. Chuba Hubbard, plus 175. If you're looking for the other side, maybe you think the Panthers defense will allow a few touchdowns. Devontae Adams, plus 115. Brock Bowers, plus 200. Maybe a pick six from Gardner Minshew. If you do that, then the Carolina Panthers defense and special team is plus 400. The options are all there on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, so go ahead and head over, find one you like, then get ready to do a touchdown dance of your own. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD, no spaces, at sign up in the promo code slot. And if you do that, new customers will get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877. This is going to be, I don't know why I'm stumbling through this. I say this every day. 877-718-5543. Goodness gracious. We'll do it one more time. 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance for additional terms and responsible gaming resources. See dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms. You can tell it's a Friday when I can't even get through the reads. Luckily and hopefully, I'll do better at real bold predictions, which is coming up next. Stick around.
We're kicking it this fall with college football. Join 99.9 The Fan all season long and catch your favorite teams in action. The ACC, the SEC, and every conference that matters. You'll find the best matchups here.
Jordan Moore delivers, and the Blue Devils have the lead.
College football on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford and by Amedios.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Tar Heel Basement Systems. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at tarheelbasementsystems.com.
Burger King's kicking up the flavor.
Things are heating up at Burger King. Introducing the all-new Fiery Menu. 5 of your favorite items now at 5 levels of heat. From mild with fiery strawberry and Sprite to wild with the fiery bacon Royal Crispy Chicken. Now that's major.
You roll your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Spicy strawberry puree with Sprite.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On a Friday, almost 5 o'clock on a Friday. Not quite, but if you want to pretend, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. It's also time for Bold Predictions. One of my favorite segments of the week. Bold Predictions, it's the only place in sports media where the bold predictions are guaranteed bold. Not going to get anybody trying to pull the curtain over your eyes, whatever the saying is.
Now, this might not be a bold prediction, but Jerry from Smithfield did call in and say Adam Thielen in the first.
Adam
for
Thielen
first
in the
touchdown
first.
score.
Right.
It might not be a bold prediction, but I like it.
But lock it in. Bold, actually, Panthers score a touchdown.
Is a bold prediction.
And we're going to get the bell there. The way it works is I make a prediction I think is bold, and if it is bold enough, you get the bold enough bell. If it is not bold enough, you get the not bold enough buzzer. And you have to make it bolder on the spot until you get the bell. It's the only way to guarantee that bold predictions are actually bold. I'll get it started. Panthers will score a touchdown. Huh? 2 touchdowns. How high are you going to make me go? This is now a game for you. Panthers will score 2 touchdowns. Panthers will score 3 touchdowns. How embarrassing is that? 21 points. Bold!
So, I think they get one in the first quarter.
Okay, I love that.
I mean, but they also might be in a position where they're down 27-7 with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the Raiders are just playing prevent, and you move the ball down the field, you get a late touchdown. So I'm like, two is reasonable.
1 in the first quarter I like, not much of the rest. But 3, that's bold. Let's jump into another bold prediction here.
Brandon said Jarvis in the first off a rebound from Aho shot. Oh, he goes, oh, dang, wrong week.
I mean, can they catch? Like, should we?
I mean,
should we ask at least? How about this? Jordan Moore, Duke wide receiver, $120, 120 yards versus Middle Tennessee. 120 and a touchdown versus Middle Tennessee.
He only has a touchdown catch, I think, in only one game so far this year.
Game winner. Correctly. He leads the entire ACC in yards and receptions. There is something to be said for Jordan Moore and Malik Murphy developing that kind of chemistry. Eventually, it's going to translate to the red zone. So, the yards and receptions will be there, and I think he gets a touchdown as well. Next one, we'll stay college football. C.J. Bailey, true freshman, making his first career start at quarterback for the NC State Wolfpack against Clemson on the road at Clemson. I think he throws multiple touchdown passes. And I actually, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's that bold, and here's why. NC State has gotten really, really good at what I call the fake touchdown passes. They still count as touchdown passes, but they're the little speed sweep taps where you throw it like a yard, and then Casey Concepcion or Wesley Grimes or whoever it is ends up taking it around the edge and scores a touchdown, and C.J. Bailey gets the touchdown pass. It's genius because then if there's a fumble, it is an incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
Back in my day, we used to just hand it off, get no passing yards for it. Not cool. But I think he gets probably one screen or something like that, a manufactured touchdown, and then I think he gets one more traditional touchdown, maybe down the field or over the middle to a tight end or something. Not to say the offense is going to go smooth sailing the whole time, but I do think they find pay dirt a few times. C.J. Bailey, multiple touchdowns. How about this? I forgot I wrote this one down.
Okay.
I'm not going to bail on it now. Chuba Hubbard, 2 touchdowns. Here's the note I have, and I wrote this morning. Andy Dalton will get you in the right play. ... which I think will often be a run play. I want them committed to the run, and I want Andy Dalton to have the autonomy at the line to flip sides, right? Or to run it at a particular defender or behind a particular offensive lineman and use his veteranship to get you into the best possible play. And then Chuba Hubbard obviously will just be the beneficiary of that because he's the running back that I expect to be on the field most often in short yardage situations. Next one. Should we go hockey?
Yeah. Why not?
Let's go hockey. They're in training camp. Bradley Nadeau is practicing with the veterans by next week. Right now they're divided up into 2 groups. There's kind of, they don't label it this way, but it's what, C1, C2?
Yeah, C1 and C2. C1 are just NHL guys, and the rest are either guys on tryouts or rookies.
I think Nadeau is he's gonna get the. Let's see what you look like up there. Let's just try it on for size.
I know they practice tomorrow back at the Vo, Club Lenovo. They practice there tomorrow, and then I think Sunday's an off day. Then they're back Monday. Then Tuesday's a preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's on the road, so I mean I don't know. So things are going to actually get jumbled. The guys that actually don't play in the game will skate together because you have to have a certain number of NHL players play in those games. Now, guys like Sam Gagner that they brought in on PTOs fulfill that need. But there are going to be guys that are going to, like, for example, Nadeau, Blake, Unger, Sorum. There's going to be some games where they're going to be playing, and then Jordan Stahl might be in the lineup too.
Yes. So I guess I was trying to kind of shoehorn this into real bold predictions. Bradley Nadeau we'll see him and believe that he's getting a shot. He's going to get his. All right, you want to be on the opening day roster? Here you go. Get shots on net, and that'll happen at some point in the next week or so.
We need to come up with a nickname for Unger, Sorum, Jackson Blake, and Bradley Nadeau, like those 3 forwards because they are skating together. Like our Young Money trio.
Young Money Trio. That's not
Something
bad.
like that.
Young Money Trio is not bad. I don't know. I'm bad at thinking up names on air.
Okay.
We can brainstorm off air, and I can come with a list to the next show. But on air, you're just going to get a lot of me going.
Tweet at us or post on our YouTube comments.
We got
a name for that trio.
NBUS, the N bus.
That sounds weird.
Does it?
Yeah.
The bussin'.
There you go. That line's bussin'. There you go.
Just take the end to the other side. Omarion Hampton, 2 touchdowns versus JMU. Next bold prediction. Omarion Hampton, 3 touchdowns versus JMU. I would have kept going. 17 touchdowns. Like, he's that good, and I think UNC with their quarterback shuffle would be foolish not to give him the ball a whole bunch of times. And I think JMU is good enough to keep it relatively close. At least they have been in the past. I know they had a real stinker earlier this year against Gardner-Webb, but then a bye week's maybe reset. If they look like they have in recent years rather than in last game, they'll be good enough to keep it close, which means you're going to want to keep Omarion Hampton in there and not go fully to the backups. This one? Sometimes I make myself laugh. Real bold predictions, a rookie quarterback will throw a touchdown pass in the NFL this weekend. It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't.
Bo Nix, none. Caleb Williams, none. Jaden Daniels, none. Drake Maye, who did get one drive, none. One of those 3 is going to find a wide receiver or a tight end or a running back on a check down, and they're going to get into the end zone. Week 3 is the week a rookie quarterback gets a touchdown pass. I know rushing touchdowns have happened, but passing touchdowns have not until this week. Dennis?
Yeah.
I feel pot committed to the last real bold prediction, but I'm getting less and less.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just...
The ACC gets 3 teams in the college football playoff. I pledged that I would keep doing this until it happened.
Miami, Syracuse, and Louisville.
Miami, Cal.
Hey, Cal's at Florida State this weekend.
3-0. They're 3-0 going into Florida State.
Gosh, imagine if Florida State drops. We didn't really talk about this week, but Florida State losing to Memphis.
They're 0-3 and getting uglier.
It's who's had it worse, Panthers or Florida State?
You know what? I might go Florida State.
I might as well, actually.
Because last year they were good and got messed over.
Mm-hmm.
At least the Panthers are bad.
And we knew they were going to be bad going
You
in.
feel like when other people make fun of you or you're having a hard time, it's like, well, they are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State was good last year and got messed over. Like that's you didn't deserve that. Although the players didn't, the coaches didn't, the fans didn't. I think some of the administrators might have.
Oh, I think yes.
But that's neither here nor there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the bold predictions. Next up, we have the starting 5, including an absolutely historic night last night. That'll lead things off coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Any win early in the season for the Jets is consequential. Think about what a hot mess they were last year. This is them proving to themselves that they can get it together, that they can be a functional franchise, that they can be a functional offense and have a functional quarterback. We have not seen this from the New York Jets in a long time.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey everybody, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan once again for FanDuel. This is your ring last call as this offer is almost over. All FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with your YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All the early games, all the late games right in front of your eyes. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. But I need you to visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul, and download America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Full price of NFL Sunday ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, North Carolina's injury lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. A few isolated showers possible early this evening. Mostly clear tonight, 64. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday. Mostly sunny. It's warm, 86. 87 on Sunday with a small chance for a shower or storm.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 38 points today to 42,063. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. This hour of the drive brought to you by Zero Res. Kick off this football season with a great deal from Zero Res. Up to 3 carpets cleaned. 3 rooms of carpets cleaned starting at $119 and 25% off your air duct cleaning. Go to ZeroResRaleigh.com. Again, ZeroResRaleigh.com. Again, that's kick your season off with a deal this month from Zero Res.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5, but it is also 5 o'clock on a Friday. Way to go, everybody. You made it. If you work a traditional 9 to 5, it's officially the weekend. There it is. And if you don't work a traditional 9 to 5, congratulations to you. I don't know when your work week gets done, but hopefully it's you're having a good time as well. Let's go ahead and just jump into the starting 5, starting with number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Shohei went bananas last night. And there's really, 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, 10 RBI, and these 2 stolen bases and the 3 home runs pushed him into and then further into the 50-50 club, which is 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. He is the only player in Major League Baseball history to accomplish that feat in a single season, and he's already, by the time the night was up, he was already to 51-51. Buster Olney covers baseball for ESPN, had this to say about Shohei.
It's the greatest single-season performance of all time. For a player to demonstrate that kind of power over the course of a full season and have that kind of speed, I don't think any player has had a season like this for sure. I mean, certainly he's the first one to hit those milestones of 50-50, and I actually think it's the second greatest feat in baseball history. You know, you could talk about Babe Ruth hitting 60 homers in 1927 when no other American League team hit 60, Rickey Henderson stealing 130 bases, Nolan Ryan throwing 7 no-hitters in his career. Hembo would whine that Joe DiMaggio should be in there with his 56-game streak. I think the biggest feat of all time, the best feat of all time in baseball history is Ripken's consecutive game streak of 26-32, but Ohtani at 50-50, second all time.
Here's the thing. The reason why I think Shohei today is getting so much love, when I actually think maybe even last year was more impressive because he was also pitching, or the year before, which is so much more versatile than I can hit and run, is I can hit and pitch and run, is because, like, there's a comparison here. We know the players that have gone for 40-40. We know the players that have gone for 30-30. Like, so it's easy to say, well, he's doing better than them. The thing is, the stuff he does normally in years where his elbow isn't recovering from surgery and he can pitch, there's really nothing to compare it to. Those are just, he's in his own world, right? Because all of this, like, oh, it's the first player since blah, 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 blah. His pitching stuff is the first player since ever. And that's just so much more difficult to quantify. And I said this earlier, and I use this story to get the point across. Appreciate greatness. Whether you're a Dodgers fan or not, whether you think he makes too much money or not, whether you like baseball or don't, appreciate greatness when it's right there in front of you. The story I used to get that point across, I was a kid, probably 8 or 9 years old, maybe even younger than that, maybe 7, and my dad's a big Red Sox fan, has been since he grew up in New England. We were in Camden Yards watching a Red Sox-Orioles game. And we're sitting there, we're watching. And my memory serves me correctly. Just funny because Olney was bringing up Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. hit a grand slam. Like, I witnessed that with my eyes. Cal Ripken Jr., one of the all-time greats, hit a grand slam. And my dad is a giant Red Sox fan, and the Orioles are playing against the Red Sox. And my dad stood up, like everyone else in the crowd, and was clapping for Cal Ripken's grand slam. And my little 7-8-year-old brain didn't get it. Like, what? You root for the Red Sox. Why are you clapping for?
Sit down,
he's
Dad.
Against your team. And my dad was just like, no. When you see something like that, you appreciate it because it doesn't come around often. That's Shohei. Now, the cool part is, like, there's nights like last night where he has one of the best statistical games in baseball history. And that is like a singular moment. But then there's also the elongated. There's like, no, you probably just want to see Shohei or pay attention to Shohei or watch Shohei at some point just to say you did. Even if you didn't see Cal Ripken hit a grand slam, still pretty cool to say you watch Cal Ripken play now that you know no one ever will again, right? Like, it's fleeting. Shohei is pretty bananas.
And especially what makes it so impressive for me is that this era of baseball that we have, no one steals bases hardly anymore. It's a lost art. And then so many people now, guys that just hit for homer, they just hit for power. They can't hit for average. Shohei Ohtani is he's hitting 294, so he's like
he does a little bit of everything.
Solid, he can hit for average. 51 homers, 120 RBIs. Like, he can do it all. Like, he is the most complete baseball player I have ever seen.
And it's crazy. And maybe it's because he grew up out of the country. It's crazy because if you pay attention to baseball at the youth levels, there's so much specializing.
Oh, it's across all sports now.
There's
I feel like.
so much, like, there's a 12-year-old out there that's like, oh, I'm a power hitter. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like all I do is just, yeah.
Oh, I'm a hit for average guy. I'm a 3-tool player. What do you don't even know what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like, oh man, my launch angles, my exit velocity.
Meanwhile,
like, no.
Shohei is in the bigs, like Yeah, no, I do a little bit of everything. I'm just kind of, when I feel like it, I pitch. When I don't, I swing as hard as I can. When I'm on the base, I'm not just going to sit there. I'm going to go. I'm going to try to advance.
I can do all the things, and I can do them better than all of you.
Yeah. I was trying to think of because the football equivalent of Shohei for a long time has been if somebody played offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you can't compare him to Brady because he's not playing offense and defense. I think having a 50-50 season while also being able to pitch and hit would be the equivalent of having like a 1,200 receiving yard, 1,200 rushing yard, and you also played defense season.
And 10 interceptions.
Yeah, like you have to do it's – and even that might not be a good enough example. Like it is that crazy. You need to have like a slightly better than CMC in 2019, whatever that was, offensive year, and also have like a better than Ed Reed defensive year. Good luck. That's number 5. Let's jump to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
NC State at Clemson. Noon game on Saturday. Big game. It's going to get I think it's the ABC treatment or the ESPN treatment. It's
ABC.
The ABC treatment. It's the big, everybody will be watching game. And everybody will be watching C.J. Bailey, true freshman quarterback making his first start. We've talked about it a bunch. Here's Dave Doran, the head coach of the Wolfpack, on how C.J. Bailey is handling this week.
He's consistent. I think there isn't any moment that we've put in front of him where he hasn't responded as you would hope, regardless of age. I mean, any player for that matter. And you can go back to the spring game. It was, he went against the first defense the whole day and had a really good day. So every time we've put him in a challenging situation, he's just been the same guy. He's been consistent. He's been uplifting. He's had energy. He bounces back if something happens. He's very coachable. So, those are habits, and you always fall back on your habits. It's about not rising to the occasion. I saw someone write that. That's not what happens. The guys return to the habits that they've created, and he has a lot of winning habits,
Hopefully those winning habits include being accurate with the pass, making quick decisions, getting rid of the ball. At Clemson is not an easy first start. Obviously, I think what Dave Doran was talking about there as far as habits is, the calm, cool, collected, the not trying to do too much, not pressing, mostly the like mental outlook side of things. There's I would say 2 people that are going to be very, very, very important to NC State having a chance in this one. One is C.J. Bailey. We've talked about it. The other, Robert Anae, their offensive coordinator, because he's going to be the one tasked with when do we cut the freshman loose? When do we rein him in? When do we find him an easy completion? When do we trust him to push it downfield? When does he need to hand the ball off 3 consecutive plays and catch a breather? It was actually recently. I watched the Manning cast a lot on Monday Night Football. Try to pick up on little nuggets of quarterback play from the Mannings and now nuggets of defensive play from Bill Belichick. And I think it was during week 1, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. Peyton Manning, literally Peyton Manning, okay? We're talking about like maybe the most prepared football player of all time. Talked about breather plays where he's like, sometimes the quarterback needs a breather play, and that is a handoff. No reads, no adjustments, no decisions. Turn and hand it off to the running back. And the fact that Peyton Manning even knew what a breather play was, right? That means the most prepared, if you make a mistake, get out of my huddle quarterback of all time is sitting there going, sometimes it's not about just the play that's going to gain the most yards. Sometimes it's about resetting your quarterback and giving him a play to take a breath. Robert Anae is going to have to call some breather plays for C.J. Bailey. Maybe 2 or 3 in a row if he's hyperventilating. So that State at Clemson game is interesting. I will say this. Where Clemson is vulnerable, and this is much more easily said than done, and I'm not breaking news, but if you look at their 2 games, smacked by Georgia, smacked App State, and you go back and even look at last year a little bit, when they start hot, they ride that wave. First drive, long touchdown. Buckle up, it's going to be a long day. If halfway through the first quarter they have 1 first down, all right, now you're in a dogfight. Now it's going to be, they very much kind of set the tone early and then live by that as a team. So make sure everybody stays in front of you. Those talented young freshman wide receivers that want to go deep, make sure you keep them in front of you, and early especially, and I believe you'll have a chance. If you let them get going early, strap up, buckle up. It's going to be tough. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3. We actually have a little bit of breaking news here in this one. JMU at UNC. That's also a noon game, I believe. Home, Kenan Stadium. JMU at UNC. Jacoby Criswell will start. Sources tell ESPN, I believe it was Adam Rittenberg who had it first. It is Adam Rittenberg. Says North Carolina is set to start its third quarterback in 4 games as Jacoby Criswell will take the first snap Saturday against James Madison. This is interesting. Again, Adam Rittenberg, I'm reading this is breaking news. It came like while we were in the starting 5. Rittenberg says Criswell, who transferred back to North Carolina after spending the 2023 season at Arkansas, had been competing during the week with Connor Harrell. Competing during the week is an interesting way to put that. I'm sure like not knowing who your quarterback is going to be between game 3 and game 4 is a tough spot to be. I assumed that after week 3, when Connor Harrell started, played, 2 series, and then Criswell took over and played the rest of the game, that internally at least they were like, all right, it's Criswell's job, even if they were selling us a bill of goods on they're not sure publicly. Competing tells me like, they were, I don't know, were you counting like completions in 7-on-7 and going, all right, you were 4 of 7, you were 5 of 7, you have 1 point lead. That's just to be midweek in a game week dealing with a competition is crazy to me. But with that game, JMU coming off a bye, you never know what unscouted looks they're going to bring. UNC, whoever the quarterback is, still has Omarion Hampton. Feel free to hand it to him a whole bunch of times. Bryson Nesbitt, tight end. Copenhaver, the other tight end. Those guys are great safety blankets for whoever's the quarterback. Find them early and often, and then use the Nate McCollums and the J.J. Joneses out there on the outside to, break the defense's back. But again, if you're just tuning in, a couple minutes ago we broke the news. Jacoby Criswell will be starting for UNC. Sources tell ESPN, and I'm now seeing it on social media. Sources telling 247 Sports, CBS Sports, so it's out there at multiple outlets now. The interesting part about all of that is that's not an announcement from Mac Brown, is it? That's
not that I've seen. No,
somebody. I don't know if it's a leak. I don't know if could be Mac Brown sending them a text, but it's we know that UNC likes to keep that thing a mystery, and now it's Friday, and the mystery is out. You know what would be the most UNC thing on the planet?
Connor Harrell starts.
Play Criswell 1 play.
Oh.
So it's like, hey, I didn't lie to you. Sources were correct. And then go to like a straight triple option running game with your 4-4 40-time quarterback, Connor Harrell. Just have Mac Brown back there thinking he's playing 3D chess when everyone else is playing higher or lower. Really, really ahead of him. Give the ball to Omarion Hampton. It's number 3. Let's get to number 2. Duke at Middle Tennessee, 4 o'clock start on a Saturday. I have a question for the Duke football program.
Okay.
Why in the heck are you going to Middle Tennessee in week 4 for a 4 o'clock Saturday game? Who was in charge of that schedule?
It may have been David Cutcliffe for all we know.
What a parting gift.
This could have been signed like in 2018.
At Middle Tennessee? At a group of 5 school. First of all, if you're going to go to a group of 5 school, make it for a reason. Make it a cool experience, like an in-state school. That's cool for the state. That's good for everybody. Go to App, go to ECU, go to Charlotte if you're going to do it. I still don't think you should, but if you are, make it cool. What about, I don't know, go to the West Coast.
Go to Hawaii.
Go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
What about go to, let me see here, a Thursday night game? So if you're going to go there, at least you're going to have a national television audience that is going to be available to you. You'll at least have the degenerate gamblers looking for any college football game on a Thursday paying attention to you. Why not bring Middle Tennessee to Durham so you can have another home game? I don't know why you go to Middle Tennessee, because here's the thing. If you lose to Middle Tennessee, no one's going to go, yeah, but it was on the road. You know, it's more difficult to win on the road. They're just going to say you're just risking embarrassment. Now, I firmly believe that Manny Diaz isn't allowing any kind of this thinking around their locker room because they've got something going in the right direction. You can tell everybody's vibing. But, man, schedule smarter, please. Jordan Moore leads the ACC in receptions and receiving yards. But how about this? Eli Pankel, another wide receiver for Duke, tied for the ACC lead in receiving touchdowns. Star Thomas, 8th in the ACC in rushing yards after his big game against UConn.
Real big game.
This season started with like Malik Murphy, Jordan Moore, and the Pips, right? It started with 2 guys that seemed ready for their close-up and a lot of guys that needed to step up. Kind of one by one, they're stepping up. The running game got going against UConn. What I will say is they need to be more efficient. Star Thomas is 8th in the ACC in rushing yards. Mm-hmm. He has the lowest yards per rush and the longest rush. So like the longest rush of his season is the shortest of anyone in the top 15 in the conference. Did I explain that well enough?
Sure, I think we'll go with it.
So Star Thomas's longest rush.
Okay.
If you lined up the longest rush of the top 15 rushers in the ACC,
like the longest individual carry, single carry, okay.
His is the shortest.
Okay.
22 yards, I think it is.
All right.
Everybody else that's in the top 15 in rushing yards in the ACC has ripped off at least one longer than 22-yard rush. He also has the shortest yards per carry. So he's up there, but they haven't been the most efficient. And then Jordan Moore and Eli Pankel are just they're making it happen in the pass game. So they're keep having guys pop up, keep having guys make plays, keep having guys put up stats, and you'll be fine at Middle Tennessee. I just don't like that you have to go to Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee 1-2 on the season. Their lone win, season opening win against Tennessee Tech. They lost at home. I'm sorry, lost on the road at Ole Miss 52-3, and they lost at home this past week to Western Kentucky 49-21.
Western Kentucky always has just 75 passing attempts, 400 yards, and 5 touchdown passes. That's the old Bailey Zappi.
That's right.
Let it fly. That's Duke and at Middle Tennessee, 4 o'clock on Saturday. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go 1!
Panthers at Raiders, Sunday. Bryce Young on the bench. Andy Dalton taking over. It is the beginning of the Red Rifle era with the Carolina Panthers.
By the way, you can listen to that game over on Mix 101.5. It's a 4 o'clock kick because it's out in Vegas. So 3 o'clock coverage starts on Mix.
Okay,
Sunday.
yes. Yeah, 4 o'clock our time.
Yes.
3 o'clock our time. The broadcast will start on Mix. So you can go ahead and listen there. I'm curious to see what the offense looks like with Andy Dalton. I think most of us want to see more aggression. You want to try to stretch the defense. You want to try to threaten the defense downfield. I believe that's what you want to see from Andy Dalton. I'm not sure if the proper move isn't run the darn ball a whole bunch more. A, that'll take a little bit of the pressure off Andy Dalton. B, I think that's what they should have been doing all along. Like, you have these interior offensive linemen that you paid all this money. I still think those are the guys that should be the engine of your offense. Run the ball behind Robert Hunt. Run the ball behind Damian Lewis. I'll lean on you, Dennis. Dennis, you were at at least a couple training camp practices. Robert Hunt, big dude or small dude?
Massive individual.
There you go.
Also spoke with him one-on-one a little bit on Sunday after the game. Massive individual standing next to him as well. So, yes.
Big dude.
Big dude.
I hate to make it this simple, but sometimes football is. Give the ball to your best ball carrier and put him behind the big, powerful guy. And I think you're going to be all right. Dave Canales is under the spotlight this week with the play calling, with the scheme, right? You believe that now that you have a veteran quarterback, you're not being held back by the limitations of Bryce Young or the struggles of Bryce Young. I want to see what a Dave Canales offense looks like as it intended, right? It kind of feels like when you put together a roster and then a bunch of guys get hurt, and maybe the first time all of your big signings are healthy is like week 6, and you go, all right, now I want to see, this is how you envisioned it, let's see. If you're Dave Canales, I'm like, all right, run your offense the way you envisioned it. I want to see your blueprints here. And Andy Dalton is good enough to do it. He's veteran enough to do it. He's a sound decision maker enough to do it. So whatever you think this team operates best as, I want to see it. And I believe the way this team operates best is when you run the football behind the guys you paid the most money this offseason. Andy Dalton doesn't change that. Andy Dalton's making what, like $7 million a year? Robert Hunt is making $100 million over the next 5. Andy Dalton can impact the game in a lot of positive ways. You still have to follow the dollars to the win. I kind of like that. Follow the dollars to the win. That means when I say that, the just came to me. What I mean is your highest paid players have to play well and be leaders on your way to winning, or else you're just at a severe disadvantage in a salary capped sport. If you're paying someone a lot of money and they're not being leaned upon to make the plays that win you the game, that's poor money spent. Paying $153 million in contract dollars to 2 guards and then becoming like a get the ball out of your hands quickly team kind of defeats the purpose. Right? If it's going to be 1.9 seconds from snap to throw, you didn't need a good offensive line. If you're going to run the ball behind them, all right, that's good money spent. That makes sense. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Glashütte Original Watch Company. I just like to say it, first of all. Glashütte Original. If you're unfamiliar with it, head out to Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. And right there in the main showroom, they have a display case full of Glashütte Original Watch Company watches, timepieces. The modern Glashütte Original brand was established in 1995, but it carries on some of the finest traditions of German watchmaking with roots dating back to 1845. So it has a little bit of the modern flair, a little bit of the traditional centuries-old watchmaking kind of panache, but mixed into all of it. This is what I think of when I think of Glashütte Original Watch Company is class. It's they have obviously the dress watches, but maybe a little bit more of a classic elegance, sophisticated complications, moon phases, perpetual calendars, tourbillons, which is a very, very complicated piece of mechanism in your watch that really gets the watch enthusiast jazzed up. There's originality because it is a relatively newer brand in some ways, mixed in with the class and the history that comes with having roots back into the 1800s. So go ahead and check them out. You want an asymmetrical dial with off-center displays, something a little more unusual, they have that. If you want something more classic, maybe a dress watch, they have that as well. It's all at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Village District location in Raleigh. When you're there, just make sure you tell them you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan from me, Tim. Also right now, we need some contestants for the numbers game. The prize for today, as it has been all week, is a $25 Amedio's Italian restaurant gift card. Make sure to – you have to respond every time I say Amedio's. Let's test it. $25 Amedio's Italian restaurant.
Nice.
Gift card. Make sure to pick up your tailgate specials before the game at Amedio's Italian Restaurant located at 3905 Western Boulevard. You can also visit amediosrestaurant.com to learn more. We need 2 contestants for the numbers game. If you want to play, call in now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Two contestants playing the numbers game coming up.
Move your sports day forward.
Full apologies, everybody, because the things that I talked about on Friday that these teams needed to do to win completely backfired. And the reality did not meet the expectations of these teams, Graham.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Wow.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to perks only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using the promo code Radio1000 and you'll place your first bet today. If you win, great. If not, you'll get it back as a bonus bet up to $1,000. Must be 21 plus and physically present in North Carolina. New users only must register using eligible promo code. First bet after registration must qualify. Max bonus bet $1,000. Bonus bet expires 14 days after receipt. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full items. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is the licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
It's truck season at John Heister Chevrolet, and boy, have we got a deal for you. Right now, you can get that 24 Silverado 1500 LTZ you've been wanting, or up to $14,000 off when you trade in a 2010 or newer car or light-duty vehicle, including 3/4 and 1-ton pickups and vans. Up to $14,000 off a brand new 24 Silverado 1500 LTZ. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay-Varina. Together, let's drive.
Hey, Shelley, I found more signs for the Walk for Hope.
Man, how's that possible? We've already put out thousands of signs.
Let's get her done, and maybe you won't leave me behind this time.
Just think. More families can join us for the Walk, Run, and Festival with food, music by Liquid Pleasure, and lots more. All at the Angus Barn on Sunday, October 13th to raise funds for mental illness research.
Don't forget, just like the sign says, go to walkforhope.com to sign up now.
Are you in charge of running the building maintenance plays at your workplace? If you're facing roofing issues, you gotta get RoofWorks into the game. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. You can count on us to be your MVP when it comes to taking care of your commercial building roof. We handle leaky roof repair, coatings, total replacements, upfits, and we even do commercial gutters. Let us show you what a valuable addition we are to your building maintenance team. Contact us today online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
It is time to play the numbers game here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. The prize that the two contestants will be battling it out for, $25 Remedio's Italian restaurant gift card. We have Sal in Morrisville, frequent player of the numbers game, and we have David in Raleigh on the line. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to ask them each question. We're going to pick our favorite answer, and that person's going to get to go first. We'll start with Sal in Morrisville. Sal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. The Friday question, as it traditionally is what are you most looking forward to about the upcoming weekend? But because we're a sports show, you got to keep it sports related.
Okay, I am looking forward to seeing the Giants lose again so Daniel Jones can lose his starting job permanently finally.
For those of you that weren't at our numbers game live event a handful of weeks ago, Sal was not nice to Daniel Jones in that event, and it does not appear as if his feelings have changed.
No, they have not.
All right, that's your answer. We have it locked. We'll see if it wins. We go to David in Raleigh. David, what are you most looking forward to about the upcoming weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
I'm looking forward to the Wolfpack taking the Tigers down and then watching as much other college football as I can.
All right, we go to Dennis, our producer / judge for these questions. Who gets the win?
Both great answers. Sal with just leaning in on the Daniel Jones hate is wonderful. But more local is State, so I'm going to lean towards that one. So we'll go with the NC State and then watching college football this weekend. But, I mean,
Sal's got a
Daniel
lane.
Jones
He's got a
hate
lane.
is just
He's
great.
got a lane, and he drives it.
I mean, the fact that he's rooting for him to lose, he's like, no, I want him to stink because he already stinks, and I want him benched.
As long as Devin Singletary scores a bunch, fantasy needs. David and Raleigh, you get to go first. Are you ready to pick your category?
Yes, sir. All
right. The first category that you can choose from is NFL, but all 2011 NFL Top 100 members. NFL Meet Virginia. These are all players born in Virginia. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
Canes Whalers.
Oh, I like it. Confident, too. The way this works, I'll give you the team and the player. I will say the team, even though we know it in this category, for timing purposes, to keep it fair with the other categories. Answer with the jersey number as quickly as you can. You'll have 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope. Ready to go.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Frederick Anderson, Carolina Hurricanes.
31.
Correct. Yessi Pugliarvi, Carolina Hurricanes.
16.
Incorrect. Bates Battaglia, Carolina Hurricanes.
13.
Correct. Cedric Paquette, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Shane Willis, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Incorrect. Yessi Pugliarvi, Carolina Hurricanes.
93.
Incorrect. Cedric Paquette, Carolina Hurricanes.
15.
Incorrect. Shane Willis, Carolina Hurricanes. That was tough. You can tell you know the Canes, but it was just not the guys that kind of popped up. You got Freddie with 31. You got Battaglia with 13. We would have also, for those of you playing at home, accepted 33. He wore both at different times. Pugliarvi, ironically, also wore 13. So it was a little you could have said 13 in back-to-back numbers and got it right. Paquette, 18 was the answer there. And Shane Willis, we would have accepted 25 or 45. By my count, you did get 2. So you have I'd say a solid number. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and sit on the line.
Yep.
That brings us to Sal in Morrisville. Sal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL 2011 NFL Top 100 members, NFL Meet Virginia, all players born in Virginia, or NBA current players only.
I'll do the NFL 2011.
All right. These are all players that were on the NFL's Top 100 list in 2011. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as fast as you can because there's only 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. You need 3 for the win. Any last-second clarifications?
Nope, we're good.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Phillip Rivers, San Diego Chargers.
17.
Correct. Andre Johnson, Houston Texans.
80.
Correct. Troy Polamalu, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, God. 53. No.
Incorrect. San Antonio Holmes, New York Jets.
18.
Incorrect. Troy Polamalu, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, God. 43.
Correct. Miles Austin, Dallas Cowboys.
18.
Incorrect. San Antonio Holmes, New York Jets.
81.
Incorrect. Miles Austin, Dallas Cowboys.
19.
Correct. San Antonio Holmes, New York Jets. You got Phillip Rivers, 17. You got Andre Johnson, 80. You eventually got Troy Polamalu, number 43. You got San Antonio. Wait, which one? Yes, you got San Antonio Holmes with 10. Which one did he not get?
Yeah, that's the one I didn't
He
get.
missed Antonio Holmes.
All right, you missed Antonio Holmes. Miles Austin, you got with 19. He also wore 14. We would have accepted that if you're playing at home. You got 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect score, but it's enough for the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That means you get the Amedio's gift card, and because I know you've done this before, you know what to do. Go ahead and sit on the line, and Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. The gift card, a $25 Amedio's Italian Restaurant gift card. Make sure to pick up your tailgate specials before the game at Amedio's Italian Restaurant, located at 3905 Western Boulevard. Visit AmediosRestaurant.com to learn more. You spell Amedio's A-M-E-D-E-O. AmediosRestaurant.com to learn more. Let's go back to a little Club Lenovo here. meaning the Lenovo Center, meaning we're going to update you on what's going on with the Carolina Hurricanes. Kind of stinks that we already have injuries we need to update you on for the early going here in training camp, but you got to do what you got to do. The Canes practiced yesterday and today. First 2 on-ice days for the Carolina Hurricanes this season. Yesterday, we saw William Carrier, or when I say we saw, I mean those in attendance saw. William Carrier, one of the offseason acquisitions, kind of labor a little bit, I think is the way we're choosing to describe it. Labor a little bit towards the end of their sprints, kind of conditioning at the end of practice, and he did not practice today. Scott Morrow, who is a rookie, very highly thought of prospect, played in the last 2 regular season games of last year for the Canes, just a couple of days after he was playing for UMass, really. He left practice early yesterday as well, and he was in street clothes today. So neither William Carrier, the veteran acquired this offseason, nor Scott Morrow practiced today. Rod Brindamore did an update on the injuries with the media. We do have some audio of Rod doing just that, so here he is.
Scotty just felt something a little funky, and so we just took him out for today. I think he should be fine tomorrow. Will is going for, he again, same thing happened to him, but his we think might be a little more, have a little more sting to it, so he's getting checked out today. So hopefully that's nothing serious.
Hopefully it's not serious. Hopefully they're both not serious. Scott Morrow sounds like it's not, as you just heard. They're expecting him back tomorrow. William Carrier might take a little bit longer. They want to do some more evaluation. They want to check it out. And it's all happening at Club Lenovo. What were the people talk about how music and smells, actually, I think is what I read.
Yeah.
Are the most like memory tied.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you grew up next to a paper plant and then you drive by a paper plant and that smell hits you, you're like, oh, childhood. And music's the other way. Locker room music, the music that was like hip-hop popular during my college football career is one of those, like, I hear it on a playlist and I know exactly, like, boom, that was after the William and Mary game. We won, and it's like that specific. I think it's hilarious that Carolina Hurricanes, big, sturdy, tough hockey guys, are going to hear this song 10 years from now and go, training camp 2024.
Yeah, all these rookies. We hear Bradley Nadeau going into his 8th year with the team.
First training camp. For those of you that weren't around for the conversation earlier today, when Dennis was interviewing the rookies yesterday at their first training camp practice, this song was bumping in the locker room.
I got a soundbite. So I asked Bradley Nadeau, hey, what's it like getting to know guys off the ice? You'll hear the song right there in the background.
I think it's really big. It's all about chemistry, and the more you know your teammates on and off the ice, the more you'll perform on the ice. So I think getting to know them, hang out with them, and stuff is really important. And most of us were here all summer, so we got a while to do that.
It is. It's
they
just
had
funny.
They had the bass cranked up on that speaker. By the way.
It is just funny. Like what like a Lil Wayne or Kanye song does for me, it's going to be Russian pop music for Bradley Nadeau 15 years from now.
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9.
I just want to know which one picked this. Like, it was like Gleb Trekazov, one of the young Russians.
I also, there was always a battle in the locker room. There was usually between, the hip-hop fans and the country fans. And if you were, the only country, and I would never touch the music, whatever people want to listen to. But if you were, the one country music person in the locker room and you went up there and, unplugged someone's phone and plugged in yours and changed it, it was those are fighting actions. You better be ready to defend your turf. I want to know who's willing to go up there and turn off the Russian pop music and then stand your ground as you throw on, I don't know, some modern pop hit or hip-hop song or country song. I don't know what they listen to. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We still have to make our picks for the weekend, and we're going to do just that coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
The new bonus edition Buck Scratch-Off's got a first-ever bonus game in the Outback.
You mean on the back, not Outback.
What's on the back?
The bonus game.
Then what's on the front?
Prizes up to $1 million.
I thought the game was called Bucks.
It is. Just forget it.
Crikey, mate. Don't go telling people to forget it. The whole point is for them to be remembering it.
The all-new bonus edition Buck Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.81 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I live and work on both coasts, travel the country, and there's nothing better than Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and half-price appetizers Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. Visit all 5 Triangle locations and ask for their great daily beer specials. And how about this special? Every Sunday, they have $6 Bloody Marys and $6.50 Jamesons. Dine in, carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union are proud to announce the return of the Coastal Credit Union Scholar Athlete of the Month. For more than 20 years, we have honored over 200 student athletes that are making a difference on their team and in their community. If you are a teacher, parent, coach, or guardian, nominate your Scholar Athlete today. We will select one winner a month to be featured on 99.9 The Fan and on WRAL News Plus. To nominate a winner, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Congrats to last year's winners. Emma Penkunas of Holly Springs High School, Connor O'Toole of Athens Drive, Kinsey Smith of Fuquay Varina, Patience Ifadon of South Garner High, Carrie Ellen Bryan of Southern Lee, Carson Parker, Apex Friendship, Jason Howard of Wakefield High School, and Eric Stoll of Green Level. We also want to thank all of our other local schools who nominated a student: Apex Friendship, Jordan Matthews, Northwood, Green Hope High, Willow Springs, Jacksonville High, South Granville, Cleveland High, Riverside, and South Johnston.
This is Creighton Blackwell with Coastal Credit Union, and I would like to offer my sincerest thanks to every school that nominated a student for this year's award. This award is more than a celebration of exceptional athletes. It's also a celebration of the schools and the communities that helped them grow into the incredible leaders that we like to celebrate.
Congratulations to all of our Coastal Credit Union Scholar Athletes of the Month. If you want to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, everybody. Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. Just because it's week 3, it doesn't mean your season is over. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. You can get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Think about a single-game parlay for the Sunday matchup with the Panthers. How about an Adam Thielen anytime touchdown? Maybe Miles Sanders over 50 rushing yards, and Bryce Young goes for more than 200 passing yards. But I need you to head on over to FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and make every moment more this season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued to non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We are heading into a very, very exciting weekend. College games exciting, pro games exciting. Right at the beginning of next week, what is it, Tuesday, we get our first preseason game for the Canes.
I know.
So there's, baseball players are doing things that have never been done before in the history of ever. So there's just a lot going on right now. And because of that, we have to make our picks. We got to let you know what's going on and what we think is going to happen in all of those situations. So Dennis started lining up the games, and we'll start knocking them out.
All right, let's go ahead and start things off. We have ourselves a little bit of football action. College football, noon kickoff, ABC. Also hear it on Mix 101.5. NC State at Clemson. Clemson, 18.5-point favorites in this one.
18.5 feels rich, but I also think it's either going to be like a one-score game or a blowout. And there's a lot of those in college football where if State is close at halftime, then I think it'll be a close game. Clemson is the type of team that, once they get a little bit of a lead on you, they like to run it up quickly. I hate to even cop out like this, but it's unfair asking to predict how a true freshman quarterback is going to react in a situation like the one CJ Bailey is being put in. First start on the road, Death Valley. That's unfair to predict how that guy's going to play.
And Clemson coming off a bye week too.
Hey,
what? We got our butts kicked week 1. We kind of righted the ship. Now we can kind of regroup. Oh, we get a freshman coming in? Let's go.
There's not going to be 2 plays where the Clemson defense looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a play where they bring the house. There's going to be a play where they drop everyone. There's going to be a play that looks like a 1-high safety, plays like a 2-high safety, looks like a 2-high safety, plays like 0. It's everything they can disguise, they will. With that being said, sometimes it goes the other way. You see this in the pros where a young bunch of prospects get called up, and then that first year they make a postseason run, and it's because they don't know that they're supposed to be nervous. They're like, isn't this what happens every year? I don't know.
They don't know any better.
I've been in the league for 1 year. We're in the postseason. Where are the nerves? Right? Meanwhile, a 10-year veteran might be nervous because they're like, I've been in here 10 years. I've only made the playoffs twice. I know how hard it is. I know how rare it is. So CJ Bailey might be out there what? Am I supposed to be scared? I don't know. Last year at this time, I was playing against 16-year-olds that had just left algebra class. Now I'm playing against Clemson.
He's I was just in algebra class.
It's a whole different world. So I'll predict State loses but covers the 18.
Okay. Another noon kick, James Madison at UNC, which we just heard through multiple media outlets reporting.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Criswell is starting.
Shout out to the person on Twitter who said at lunch the security guard at his office building told him that Jacoby Criswell was starting.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's the source.
The security guard gossip network.
There it is.
They're everywhere.
UNC 10.5-point favorite against James Madison, by the way.
I think they cover. I think they win by a bunch. JMU scared me a little bit by barely beating Gardner-Webb 2 weeks ago.
They kind of squeaked one out against Charlotte week 1, too.
Which is a little more understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a bye week to fix it. I don't know if you fix that stuff in a week. So I expect UNC to lean on their superior physical abilities, bigger offensive linemen, faster running backs, that sort of thing. Play a low-risk game and win by 14-21. Just kind of no nonsense. Get a win, get out, get home.
All right, next one up here, Duke on the road at Middle Tennessee State. Duke favored by 14.5.
I'm curious to see how Duke reacts as a 14.5-point favorite. This is a weird one, right? Even against UConn, they were the favorite, but they were at home. You can lean into that for kind of your energy. At Middle Tennessee, weird one. Just a very, very strange one. I say they win. I'll say they win by, I guess I'll take them. I'll take them. They win by 17. Something along the lines of 34 to whatever 34 minus 17 is. Look for that.
That'd be 17.
Boom. Is
Billy on air math for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was going to avoid it entirely.
Big ACC game. It's weird to say. Georgia Tech at Louisville. It's actually
There's
a big ACC game.
Big ACC games.
Louisville undefeated. Georgia Tech just the one loss. Louisville 10-point favorite at home.
Ooh, I'll take Georgia Tech in the points, but I'll take Louisville to win.
Okay.
Georgia Tech, their entire identity is mucking this game up and making it fewer possessions and keeping it closer than it should be. That's literally what they do. I might take Georgia Tech against anybody that's a double-digit favorite, except for maybe Georgia at the end of the year.
Yeah.
that's what they do. They shrink the game. They take the air out of the ball, whatever you want to call it. Haynes King has a little bit of moxie. That's their quarterback. But I do think Louisville's probably the better team at this point. So Louisville wins, but Georgia Tech does the Georgia Tech thing.
All right, if I would have told you going into this week that Cal and FSU would be playing each other, that one of the teams would be 3-0 and the other would be 0-3, what would you think? That Florida State would be the 3-0 team, right?
Heck yeah. Well, they would have played Georgia Tech, Boston College, and Memphis.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Flip the script. 3-0 Cal on the road to Tallahassee at FSU, who's 0-3. FSU 2.5-point favorite.
I mean, I'm not picking Florida State.
Give me the Bears.
I'm not picking Florida State until they
Bears.
show me that they can run an effective offense with DJ Uiagalelei. And by the way, Cal has had their success. Jaden Ott, who was preseason All-World, has been banged up. He has like 60 yards rushing on the year.
Mm-hmm.
They found other runners, and they found other ways to win. So I give Cal a lot of credit. Justin Wilcox, their coach, he kind of impressed me at ACC kickoff.
Yeah.
Seems like a dynamic individual, someone you can get behind and lead a team. So, give me Cal. And part of that is just I'm not picking Florida State. I'm not probably betting on the game at all, like my own money, but I'm not picking Florida State until they show me they can do something.
Cal already has a win on the road at Auburn, by the way.
Little bit of an impressive win there.
Let's go. All right, real quick, NFL game, which is kind of intriguing. 2-0 Texans against on the road at the 2-0 Vikings in what I like to call the what could have been game. What could have been C.J. Stroud, Texans QB? What could have been Sam Darnold, Vikings QB? What could have been for the Panthers? Texans 2-point favorites on the road at Minnesota.
In those two what could have been scenarios, if you let me choose, taking C.J. Stroud.
10 out of 10.
And in this game, I'm taking C.J. Stroud. I do think at some point the Texans are going to get humbled a little bit. I don't think it's this weekend. Do you see C.J. Stroud giving Caleb Williams like the pep talk after they played last week in another what could have been bowl?
No.
C.J. Stroud like, don't worry, man. They believe in you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, the last time you guys played in the same level of football, Caleb Williams won the Heisman, and you didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the best time for you to be like big brothering Caleb Williams. I do think at some point the Texans will come back down to earth, but it won't be against the Vikings.
All right, last one here. Panthers on the road at the Raiders. Panthers 6-point dogs.
I ain't taking the Panthers. I'm not. I won't do it. I won't do it. Not even with the 6. You'd probably have to give me 10 to make me feel good about it. And even that, I'd like have to close my nose to mask the stench of making that pick.
They cover though?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's a 1-score game. I think if you gave me 10 points, I'd take them.
Okay. You thinking like a 28-20 type deal?
Yeah, 28-20, 27-17.
Okay.
If things go real crazy, 31-21.
Let's go.
If things go real crazy,
I want points.
It's just I haven't seen enough from even the non-Bryce Young players to expect too much success this year for the Panthers. And that's just honesty. That's me bearing my soul for you up here. I could be the homer. And just say Panthers upset win. But my conscience won't let me do it. Got to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, coming up next we have Overdrive here on 99.9 The Fan. Dave Canales into the spotlight. Bryce Young out of the spotlight. But it's got to point somewhere. He'll be in the background. Dave Canales, I believe, will be the one judged most harshly or with most praise by how this game goes over the weekend. And we talked about that earlier today, so that's going to lead off Overdrive. I said this earlier today. I'm going to say it again. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. We really appreciate it when everybody hangs out there and talks sports for all the local teams. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Jump into the comment section. Have a fun time there. We'll be back on Monday to break down the week. Enjoy Overdrive, as I said. Thank you to Dennis for keeping us up and running. Until Monday, have a great weekend, everybody.
We're kicking it this fall with college football.